Well, our week of predictions, it's here. It's time to put on our prediction hat, Diesel. You and I both have on a ball cap today, and I hope it's your prediction hat. As we've talked about this, and now it's time. Our week of predictions is finally upon us. Welcome into Wire to Wire. He's Diesel. I'm Cole Bryson. Are you ready to be right or wrong? Which way? I mean, do you feel confident today on this Monday, Diesel?
Well, considering our day one Thursday picks from last week, I went 3-2. You went 2-3. I'm better at predicting. I don't even want to predict anymore though, Cole, because I like being right. And I don't want to go sub 500, and I know that's what's going to happen. As soon as I get cocky, soon as it's what happened when I started putting a little scratch down on games in the betting apps. As soon as I started feeling like my skills were getting better, that's when all my money went bye-bye.
So our preseason picks, you had a pretty good winning record. I went 2-3 for, was that just Thursday night?
Just Thursday. There were 6 games. One of them was a tie, so that's why it was only 5 games counted here.
Well, that not great. 2-3 there. My excuse is it's hard to predict preseason football.
I even said on the air on Friday, I was like, Cole's excuse is going to be that it's hard to predict preseason football.
There it is. You hit the nail on the head. Welcome into the show, Tolos. Want to hear from you. 844-326-3663. Streams up and running. Live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. It just feels like football season, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it does.
We're in the final countdown.
It feels like football. It's here. And our week of predictions, boy, we have a lot to get to this week. I'm looking at the rundown now. So we have to make our NFC South predictions. We touched on a few weeks ago what the Panthers were going to do. We'll reiterate that. We'll get back into that. We've got to make Clemson season predictions, South Carolina season predictions, conference championships, highest in the Carolinas. Now, last year was a pretty rough year for that, wasn't it?
It was. In years past, things were going really well for a lot of the Carolina teams, not you, Charlotte. And everybody was finishing plus 500, and it got hard to figure out who was the best teams. And then, the transfer portal sort of decimated a lot of teams.
And I remember you and I talking about last year, like weren't we having arguments or debates on who the actual best team was in the Carolina? I mean, it was hard to decide.
It was because everybody decided to crap the bed all at the same time.
Was it Coastal?
I think
Coastal had a
probably
year,
was. Might have been East Carolina, to be honest. I mean, South Carolina was down last year. Clemson was down last year. App was down last year.
UNC.
Wake Forest was actually pretty good. Duke was pretty good.
Maybe it was.
North Carolina was down. NC State was above average, but not great. And Coastal was just okay as well.
Maybe it was Duke then. Maybe it was Duke.
Had to have been Duke.
That we decided on, right?
Had to have been Duke or Wake Forest because Duke, at least played. They won the ACC championship game last year.
Yeah.
They had to have been the best team in the state.
That's right.
States
that's right.
In the Carolinas.
In the Carolinas. I like that. We've also, Diesel, let's see here. We've got to do our national championship prediction. Playoffs.
God, we hadn't even started games and we're already talking playoffs.
We're going to predict the playoffs, the 12 in. We're going to predict who wins it all. Let's see how good our memory is. Your memory, my memory. Last year, I predicted, this is a great prediction, I predicted Clemson to win the national championship last year. And everybody did. I mean, Josh Pate, everybody predicted.
They were loaded on paper before the season started.
You picked Ohio State.
I did.
Now, the only reason I remember that is because the year before, I picked Ohio State. They won it. And I think the year before, you picked... Oh, was it a big deal? Do you remember 2024?
No, I couldn't tell you.
You don't remember?
We'd have to go back into the very first year. We're talking like episode number 40 or 50 at that point, because today, Cole, is a big one. We're at 586. So we'd have to go all the way back to like the 50s to find that.
No, it was a while. It was a long time ago. The only reason I remember Ohio State for me is because they won. So I felt like I was smart. Just got lucky because I picked the team that won.
When you just quit playing right there.
Right.
Nobody can ever take that away from you.
So you and I now have to start thinking, okay, who's our national championship pick? We'll do that. I think we've got it. Let's see here. We'll get to Clemson tomorrow, South Carolina Wednesday, conference championships and highest in the Carolinas on Thursday. Who's going to be the best team in the Carolinas? Will it be could Duke be? I don't know without Mensa.
Duke without Mensa?
Nah, I don't know. That's going to be fun.
Wake Forest without Robbie Ashford has to be going up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the national championship, we'll end the week on Friday, Diesel, with our stamp of approval with the national championship and playoff predictions. That'll be a lot of fun. The rest of those, I can pretty much come up with them off the top of my head, but I'm gonna have to do a little research on the playoff predictions. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've got to get my 12 teams. Start thinking about who those 12 teams are.
It's a slipperier slope than it's ever been before. Trying to pick the playoffs.
More difficult than it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
More difficult than it's ever been. And I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Let's see. Let's see if we can predict and hit this thing on the head. I do, Diesel, want to start the week of predictions by touching on what we said for the Carolina Panthers, but also predicting the NFC South. We grab our is this Athlon?
Athlon, baby.
I like these Athlon books. So maybe even a little bit better than old Phil Steele. Don't tell him I said that.
It's a little easier to read, I think.
A lot easier. There's not like apostrophes and parentheses, everywhere.
You should get free access to the athlon.com website
with the purchase of the magazine.
I think you should get a code in there.
I like the magazine a lot, to your point, because it's just simple. It feels simple to read.
Yeah, I'm a dummy and I need it dumbed down for me.
I'm the same way. All right, let's go to Carolina. For those of you that did not join us during this segment, 3 weeks ago now or so,
yep,
we made our official Carolina prediction for the season, what their win-loss will be. If you're an NFL fan, Panther fan, we want to hear from you at 844-326-3663. Joy Law Firm text line. Also, the phone lines are open as well, especially if you are a Carolina Panthers fan. I mean, we really, really want to hear from you then. And want to know what you think this Carolina Panthers team will do in the 2026 season. Diesel will also give our NFC South predictions as well in this very segment. I want to ask you first, though. Did you write yours down?
I did.
I did I wrote in the magazine. I hope that's allowed. Do you have any, now that it's been 2 or 3 weeks, do you have any changed thoughts or hesitations? Because I always second guess myself. Do you have the same thoughts on the schedule now as you did when we initially picked this?
I'd say for the most part, yes. I mean, I had them winning at Cleveland in week number 3, and they've still got a lot of questions to answer at the quarterback position there. They're going to be flip-flopping between Deshaun and Shedeur for these preseason games. I don't think there's been any major changes in rosters, any major injuries. I mean, I have them sweeping the Falcons. I'm going to stick with that prediction. Say they win at the Falcons on September 20th. And then again, the TBD in the last week of the season. I don't see any major changes here.
That Browns one though, man, that's the one. So Chicago, you and I both have them losing to Chicago, starting 0-1. Is that right?
Yep.
And then you're at Atlanta. You just said sweeping Atlanta, and I think I have them doing the same thing. Let me see here. At Atlanta the first go round, and then they get Atlanta a win. Last game of the year. So you and I both have them sweeping Atlanta. Does the Cleveland game, though, because I think it does for me, is that the one game that you feel the most unsure about? I don't know if I really, Diesel, feel 100% sure that I think the Carolina Panthers are going to go to Cleveland. And I know Cleveland's Cleveland, but I just don't feel real confident in that pick. My confidence level is low for that one.
No, mine is still pretty high.
Really?
They traded away Myles Garrett to the Rams. They got Jared Verse. They got another really good defensive end in return. I think their defense is going to be okay. I think their defense is going to be fine. I just don't have a clue what their offense is going to be. I think whoever's back there slinging the ball is going to be throwing a bunch of picks. You know? And so I feel good with the Carolina Panthers cornerback core, their backfield, their secondary. I feel good about their chances to maybe snag a pass or two and kind of bust this game wide open on the road in week 3.
If you had to say now, who's playing quarterback when Carolina travels to Cleveland?
Ooh. I'm going to say it's Deshaun Watson. And
that's only game 3, right?
I don't feel great about it. I don't feel great about saying Deshaun. I mean,
right.
he's been throwing a lot of picks. He's looked bad. He's looked really bad in his preseason games and apparently, or the game, and apparently he has not looked good in practice. But I mean, if Shedeur was that much better, Shedeur would be starting all the games, and we wouldn't be doing this back and forth thing.
Yeah.
So as bad and inconsistent as Deshaun has been, Shedeur is probably just as bad.
And, I think the only reason, Diesel, that I am unsure about this game is I just don't know right now. I don't know what my faith level is in Carolina. I just don't know. Like, I want it to be high. Right now, by the way, the market, the current market, Carolina is actually around the 1.5 point road favorite if you look at certain books.
Okay.
The total around 39. So not expecting a ton of offense.
Ooh, everybody get your popcorn and be ready for that game.
Yeah. ESPN's matchup model currently gives Carolina a 53.4% win probability versus 46.2 for Cleveland. Okay, so let me ask you this, and this is maybe why I'm settling on Carolina in this game. Is Bryce Young just the reason that we are picking Carolina? We think that Bryce Young's just better. I mean, he's not perfect, but he's just a better quarterback.
I trust the receiving core a little bit more. I trust the secondary a little bit more. I trust the offensive line a little bit more. I trust that Chuba Hubbard will be back and 100% by then. He had his little ankle sprain, was that right? A week ago or so. I feel a little more confident. And hey, I'll say this. If you're a Carolina Panthers fan and you don't have confidence that Bryce Young can take this team in year 4 and win on the road in Cleveland,
he ain't the guy.
He ain't your
That's
guy.
Right. That's right.
You might as well start tanking now.
Zach on YouTube says, Cole, you should have more faith in what Carolina does than your Cowgirls. I love it. I mean, it doesn't take long to get shots toward my Cowboys at all on this show.
What's funny, Cole, is maybe you should bag on the Cowboys preseason a little bit more because, as we're going to talk about at 5 o'clock, you've been all about the Braves this last week or so, saying everything's going to be fine, and then all of a sudden they've dropped 2 straight series.
Yeah, not good.
And a week before that, you were talking about how woe is us, this sucks.
I don't want to talk about
Alex
that
Anthopoulos hadn't done anything to make our team any better at the trade deadline, and they just go on an epic run.
So what you're saying is our emotions and thoughts control how the team plays.
I say you are the antithesis of how the Braves play. So when you're up, they're down. When you're down, they're up.
There you go. I don't want to. I'm trying to avoid that conversation. So you and I both have a win in that game. By the way, I was going to point this out. Bryce Young, going back to my Bryce point, according to FanDuel, if you're a fantasy football player, and I know we have a lot of Tolos who have asked about fantasy, we need to get something going if we can find a commissioner for the league. I'm not doing it again this year. FanDuel projects Bryce Young in that matchup to be the highest projected fantasy player between the two teams. So I think it is kind of simple to say, hey, we trust Bryce a little bit more than we do whatever happens. I mean, I think it could be a close game, 2017, something like that, on the road. But
early in the season, you'll take them.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. At this point, though, you and I have them 2-1.
Yes, 2-1.
Which is weird, though. Look at that.
I have them being kind of a streaky team all year.
Streaky. Listen, we have them losing at home and winning both road games. That's odd, right? To start the season.
Yeah, after the Detroit game, October 4th, I've got them 0-2 at home, 2-0 on the road.
Say that again?
0-2 at home, 2-0 on the road. So losses against Chicago and Detroit, both at home.
That's a tough stretch.
And then wins at Atlanta and Cleveland.
That's a tough stretch.
And then they get a bye.
I have them losing to Detroit, Philly, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, Denver. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game losing streak. Which of those 5 did you just say you have them winning?
From Detroit to
Denver?
Denver, I've got them winning against Tampa October 25th. So they finally get a home dub.
That'd be big. That's a brutal stretch, though, right there. Detroit, really good. By the way, that's a Sunday night football matchup, prime time. Can the Panthers handle the spotlight? By the way, Panther Talk tonight, 7 p.m. Anish.
Yes. It's going to be great.
I'm not going to say why.
Inside.
I'm not going to say why.
All the deepest diving insight to that preseason game.
Yes.
we suffered through against against the Buffalo Bills.
So at Detroit, or home against Detroit, at Philly, Tampa Bay, you got them winning that one. I've got them losing that one, but I could go flounder with you on that. I could flip-flop, wishy-wash on that one with you.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay, I don't think they go to Lambeau and win on a Monday night. That's a Monday night football game, by the way. That's going to be tough. Denver, 1 o'clock, still tough. Denver's going to be really good this year, I think. Then they bounce back. New Orleans, I haven't beaten New Orleans, but coming right back and lose. You mentioned streaky, losing to Baltimore. Do they beat Baltimore on November 2nd or 22nd?
I have them, yes, winning that game.
You do?
Yeah.
That'd be a big win.
I've got them, let's see, back-to-back wins in early September, and then back-to-back losses in October and November, 3 straight losses in November and early into December, and then I see them going on a little bit of a streak and winning some games in December and January.
And see, I have them win 4 out of 5 at New Orleans, losing to Baltimore, at Tampa they win, at Minnesota they win, and then New Orleans they win. So I'm going to that end of November, early December, but then I have them losing 3 of 4. So I'm with you on the streaky. Losing 3 of 4 to close the season. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Seattle. Diesel, outside of this division, and let's sum it up before we get to the NFC South. I think this outside of the division, this is a incredibly difficult gauntlet.
It is.
I mean,
it is.
Oh my word!
I think both of us. I had them going 5-1 in division. Where did you have them in division? 5-1.
Believe it or not, yeah.
And then outside of division is where things get really, really tough. I got them losing 8 non-division games. And they're going to be a team that we're all going to be looking at the end of the season saying, how did this team make the playoffs? I mean, they have been awful. Yeah. Most of the time, the eye test will tell you that this team is awful, yet they're going to be 5-1 in the division. They're going to run away with it, in my opinion. And that's because this division is awful. It's terrible.
Awful. It's awful. I have them going 7-10 on the season. You have them 1 game better?
8-9, yes.
So very close predictions. Very close. And you and I looked up the other day on the show. Vegas has them at 7.5?
7.5, yeah.
So right there, we're playing both sides of the coin.
What's interesting to me will be the games against Cincinnati and Pittsburgh towards the end of this season. Is Joe Burrow still going to be healthy at that point? It's probably smart money at this point to bet no, he's not going to be healthy. He's not going to be 100%. Is Aaron Rodgers still going to be playing football at this point? Or will he early retire based on, he runs out there and stubs his toe on a blade of grass, gets a high ankle sprain in week number 1, and he's done for the year.
Yeah.
I mean, and if that's the case, if they got to go to backups for either of those teams, are you stoked about who they have at backup? I just neither one of them has shown the ability to stay healthy throughout an entire season. So I know it's probably a little bit of wishful thinking to think both Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers are out in December, but it's not far-fetched.
The NFC South, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, Diesel, because I think you'll be surprised by this, and I think Tolos will be surprised by this as well. The Carolina Panthers, according to Vegas, are predicted to finish 3rd in the NFC South. 3rd.
Ew. So they've got them. So they've got them winning a lot of non-division games, but being terrible in division,
or neither.
Well, not winning any. I guess if last year everybody was tied at 3-3 in division, then
that's your answer was right. That is very
God.
If they finish 3rd with that division, Vegas right now has Tampa Bay at plus 170. New Orleans at plus 270, Carolina at plus 310, Atlanta at plus 400. So second-year coach Kellen Moore, Diesel, is favored to win the NFC South over Dave Canales, who's been there a little bit longer, not a lot longer, but a little bit.
Right?
3rd year, yeah. I don't know that I love the Saints roster. I really don't know that I love the Bucs roster outside of Baker Mayfield.
And Atlanta doesn't know who's going to play quarterback.
They have no idea. Texter says, I have them 4-2 in the division in honor of Jaden Daniels. I can't say 5-1.
Right.
That's funny.
He won't let you use his name, image, and likeness anymore.
No, that's good, though. I do
Cease
like
and
that.
desist, sir.
Cease and desist, Texter from the 680. So who would you predict, Diesel? Who you have based on your Panthers predictions, you have the Carolina Panthers winning the division, right?
I do. I have to have this level of optimism now because it is year 4 of Bryce Young. They've given him weapons, and I know that he's lost a couple of pieces how impactful is Chris Brazel going to be? Don't know.
Mm-hmm.
How much is losing Princely Uman-Mielen going to hurt this defense? Don't know. But I think they've done some things to help him. And I'd say at this point, they've done about everything they can to maximize Bryce Young's potential, short of going out and landing a veteran elite wide receiver like a T. Higgins type of guy, right? So if not now, to quote the wise janitor in Rudy, if it hasn't happened by now, it ain't gonna never happen.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
They got to get it done this year, or that should be everything you need to know about Bryce Young. And hey, enjoy being a backup somewhere. I don't know, but I'd be looking at the draft next year.
Especially in that division. I think that's what it all comes down to, especially in that division.
The Bucs have owned it for such a long time, and the Bucs are now severely weakened.
Yeah, they are. And a reminder, tonight, Panther fans, Panther Talk right here on the Fan Upstate, 7 p.m., Anish Shroff. I love listening to that. Man, if you want to get fired up for football season, it's here. That is tonight, week number 2-ish, I believe. Leprechaun of Lyman, what's he getting after you about on the YouTube?
He says, you almost got that quote right, but I'm proud of you for the Rudy reference. I had to change the reference for the Carolina Panthers based on the syntax and the context in which I was using it. In the movie, he says, if you haven't done that by now, it ain't gonna never happen. So what exactly did I get wrong that was so egregious?
He is being very critical. I mean, what are we?
I love the wise janitor and Rudy. He's great. It's the key to the maintenance room.
Rudy. I did not expect the Rudy reference. I love it.
I love Rudy. I just watched it while we were at ACC kickoff. I was in my hotel room, and it was on TV with commercials, and I forgot how much it sucks watching a movie on television with commercials. It's just plain awful. Speaking of awful, Cole, some awful things are happening in the wide receiver room down in Columbia. A couple of guys have gone down with season-ending injuries. The question is, how much will it actually hurt Shane Beamer, Kendall Briles, and this offense? We'll get into that next. Started talking about Rudy on the stream, and Cole, now I'm wondering, have you ever seen Rudy?
Oh, yeah.
You remember when Rudy's older brother brings home Rudy's ex-girlfriend for Christmas? Mm-hmm. And it seems like the family all knows that Rudy's older brother is now dating Rudy's ex-girlfriend. In what world would that be okay?
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't date somebody that dated your little brother or your older sister. You can't do that.
Bro code.
That's bro code. Yep. It should be even stronger when it's the brother code. But Cole, the wide receiver room at South Carolina is going to have to come together and be stronger, because if you haven't seen the news over the weekend, this is tough for you Gamecock fans. Good news is neither of the two guys that went down for you last week in practice are starters. They're not expected starters, depth pieces, but two wide receivers, Jaden Gibson, a transfer that played 4 years at Oklahoma. He's coming in. I think he's second or third on the depth chart behind Nick Harbor, I think. And then Jaden Sellers, he is second or third on the depth chart behind Mazio Bennett. Good news is, like I said, it's not your starters that have gone down, but these are depth pieces that by the time you get to the back end of the season, you're going to have to rely on some of these guys, assuming you don't stay 100% healthy. And nobody stays 100% healthy through the season.
Well, you said depth. And let's remember that in the SEC, you need depth, right? It's a tough league. So are they starters, to your point? Maybe not, but I think listen, when any coach loses guys at this point and you're this close to starting game plans for your opponents, it does throw a wrench in things. And I'm not saying panic. I'm not saying panic and downgrade the entire season. And you now need to, in your week of predictions, predict them to lose one more game because of these two players. But what was there? And I think this is a really fascinating question for Beamer. What was their expectation, Diesel, when it comes to contribution going to be, right? In terms of how much they were projected to be playmakers, part of this offense. I think Sellers was a bigger loss.
Yeah.
Maybe. You're looking at two players that weren't going to contribute immediately out of the gate, but I think anytime you lose two depth pieces, to your point, I think it's one of those areas or one of those times where you have to make an adjustment that as a coach you don't want to do.
Yeah, Jaden Gibson, like I said, 4 years at Oklahoma, played in 22 games, 15 catches for 387 and 5 touchdowns for the Sooners in his 4 years. Clearly, he was not a heavily used piece for the Oklahoma Sooners. You're right. That doesn't mean that Shane Beamer didn't have plans for him, didn't have schemes for him, didn't think that certain plays were right up his wheelhouse. The one problem with that, Cole, is you lose some senior experience. He's a guy that's been around for a long time, and he may or may not have been a heavy contributor on the field, or the plan might not have been for him to be a heavy contributor on the field, but he's one of those guys that brings in a heck of a lot of experience. He's been around this league. He's seen a lot of things. He's one of those guys that, you put him on the sideline, he's watching for all kinds of starters. So
here's what it does.
Losing him isn't a massive loss, but like I said, it's depth.
And other guys get pushed up the depth chart, which is one trickle effect of this. Guys like, I don't want to start naming names. I don't know who's, Shane Beamer might text me and correct me if I start.
Well, that's not entirely accurate.
Not entirely accurate. That's
he loves to tell you that.
But I will tell you this. When you lose two pieces like this, I guess, Diesel, you have to feel like you have to hope that the top of your wide receiver room stays healthy. The top of your wide receiver rooms, I think if you're a Gamecock fan, I think the top of your room's pretty good. Nick Harbor is the veteran guy that has the explosive capability. You've got guys like Mazio Bennett, who's, I think, Shane, expected to have a bigger role. I think, yes. Allegedly. And if Mazio can have a bigger role, then those other guys slide up the depth chart and you start seeing a little bit more opportunity, right, because of these injuries.
Both of these guys, and again, if you're going by the Phil Steele Bible, which I know some of our texters have a problem with, and this was all pre-camp, so we don't know what might have changed and what kind of movement might have happened since camp began. Maybe some guys started to show out, but both of these guys had redshirt freshmen behind them on the depth chart. So now you're losing out on some experience, some playing time, but you're having to fill those roles with freshmen.
Did Phil have these two guys on there?
He does, yes.
He's
got Jaden Sellers as the number one backup behind Mazeo Bennett.
And that's why I think the Sellers injury is a little bit more.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's more impactful for sure.
Yeah.
And then he had this Jaden Gibson, 6'5", 200-pound guy. I mean, who knows? Maybe he just can't catch the ball, because at 6'5", 200 pounds, you ought to be an absolute stud in the SEC, right? But he was third on the depth chart behind Nick Harbor and Donovan Murph.
And that's interesting. You do wonder, you do ask the question, a guy in DJ Black who transferred in from USF, I believe I'm right on
UCF.
UCF.
Central
I
Florida,
always get too freaking confused.
It's okay.
UCF.
Yeah.
Central Florida, local product from right here in Spartanburg County, went to Chapman High School, originally was at South Carolina, now making the return trip. You wonder if that gives him, even though it's a different wide receiver position, you wonder if it gives him a little bit more of an opportunity, right? And he's a senior, 6'3", 195. So they've still got dudes. I just don't know, like, when you look at this wide receiver room, here's where I think fans, Gamecock fans, you tell me if I'm wrong here. I think fans are in a state of mind right now where they just feel as if these guys are unproven in a way that this team, not only the wide receivers, this team's just got to go out and prove it this year. They've got to, like, a lot of times, South Carolina fans are such good fans. Gamecock fans, a lot of times, these will lead the way in carrying the banner to, hey, we're excited for the season. I'm telling you, from a lot of the fans I've talked to, I think it's flipped this year. I think a lot of these Gamecock fans are just tired of, not winning at the highest level, the inconsistency. And I think a lot of fans are like, hey, you know what? If you want me to be there all year and buy season tickets, you've got to prove it. So I think that applies to this wide receiver room. Yeah. We know what Nick Harbor can be, but we also know what Nick Harbor was 2 years ago. And he was non-existent,
True.
So I just think that ultimately these two injuries, they are impactful when it comes to the overall totality of this room, what this room looks like. I mean, I know this is going to sound so duh, but like Diesel, this room is going to dictate Lenora Sellers' success in a huge, huge way, man. If they're, if they don't show up.
And think about it this way. Last year, it took Nick Harbor some time to get going. He was pretty non-existent for the first couple of games of that season, and it wasn't until late in the year, once he finally fully got his headspace back into football,
and then he was pretty good,
that he started coming on. So that is when, to me, losing a guy, for example, like Jaden Gibson, a guy that has been around for a long time, that's where it hurts you. If Nick Harbor needs 3 or 4 games to start being himself again, who are you going to have step up into that role and get some extra snaps and actually be able to produce for you in those games? Now, this is something we haven't talked about, Cole, the mental aspect for Lenora Sellers now that his brother Jaden Sellers has gone down with a knee injury. Remember, that was one of the big reasons why Lenora Sellers came back this year, was to be able to play with his brother a full season in South Carolina and get that full year and have Jaden out there on the field a lot. I have no reason to believe why Lenora Sellers would kind of take another step back or waver a little bit with his brother not out on the field. Yeah. He certainly knows that he has to perform no matter what, because now his NFL future is on the line.
Sure.
I think it's a pipe dream for South Carolina fans, and I have seen this out there on social media. It was one of my initial thoughts as well. Well, does this mean Lenora Sellers could come back in 2027 so that he could actually get that full season with Jaden Sellers? That is extreme wishful thinking to hope that that's going to be the case. But yeah, I mean, one of the main reasons he's back is no longer going to be out there on the field with him. Does that affect him in some way?
Does it matter? Of course it matters. Does it really play an impact? I don't know that it does. You know what I mean? Like, of course, Lenore's wishes his brother was out there. Does it impact his day-to-day? You hope not. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way toward his brother, but like people get hurt. You got to keep rolling. The train's just going to keep on rolling. You love that old song, don't you?
Yeah.
The train has to keep rolling, and you can't make it about more than anything than what it needs to be. I'll say this last thing on the wide receiver room. We know what Nick Harbor is and can be. I think Mazeo Bennett, man, this year, like, I don't know if he fits into these shoes, but I think there's a large pair of shoes, Diesel. I think there's a very large pair of shoes sitting in Columbia at Williams-Brice Stadium outside the locker room for Mazeo Bennett to step into. And last year, you looked very limited action, right? Just 10 receptions, 62 yards, no touchdowns. He appeared in 11 games with 3 starts. But when you look at this wide receiver room, now with these injuries, but also just the uncertainty of outside of Nick Harbor, what it looks like, I think there's a very large pair of shoes sitting outside the locker room, and Mazeo Bennett needs to step in them. If he doesn't, I don't know that my faith level in this offense as a whole is going to be really, really high in 2026. I think the ceiling is much higher for Mazeo than what we've seen at South Carolina, but I just ultimately think we know about Nick Harbor. We know what he can do. He's a deep threat kind of guy. But I think the most important thing that has to happen, Diesel, for this wide receiver room in 2026, Mazeo Bennett's got to open that door, step in those shoes, and he's got to go ball out. Simple as that. He's got to ball out and be a big-time playmaker if this team wants to be a, let's dare not say it, but a playoff contending kind of team somewhere around 8-9 wins. Mazeo Bennett's got to have a big season.
There's been a lot of hype around him. Obviously, we've been talking about him for 2 years now and waiting for him to step up and produce up to expectations, and that hasn't happened yet. Now, here's one thing. Also, Cole, last thing I want to say about this. South Carolina, by the back end of the season, they're going to be facing a bunch of teams that were awful against the pass last year. And as this depth chart has now gotten squeezed and the depth has gotten shorter, Vandy, Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas, they're all on the schedule this year. Those were the bottom 4 teams against the pass last year. South Carolina plays all 4 of them. As a matter of fact, they play 6 of the bottom 9 schools against the pass last season. South Carolina was the 10th worst or 7th best overall against the pass. So they would be facing teams, theoretically, who are not good against the pass. And if you've been squeezed at the wide receiver position, or if you have another injury down the stretch to one of these guys, that makes these games so much more difficult to win.
It does. It's a season where there's a lot of guys wearing that garnet or red jersey that have to just step up. Quite frankly, they've just got to step up this, and I think that's why the fans are kind of playing the right side of the card here. Yeah. Like, this is a season where South Carolina just has to prove it, and if you don't, I think the ship may have sailed on Shane Beamer if he cannot prove it and have a good year. If you have this guy back for a 3rd season at quarterback and you've got some talent, you've got new coordinators. If you don't do it this year, I just don't know that you've got a lot of time left in that boat, in that ship. Yeah, that ship may have sailed.
And it's not your fault that guys get hurt. It's not Shane Beamer's fault that they get hurt, but he's still going to be judged on it anyway. Oh, yeah. Texter says, tell the truth, Diesel, you have a Phil Steele Centaur poster above your bed, don't you? Well, joke's on you, Texter. I have 2 of them. I have one above my bed. I have one inside of my locker. I get the hard eyes emoji whenever I see Phil Steele's name. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to buy one of those old conversion vans and paint a Phil Steele Centaur down the side. I love them so much.
I think we have some old vans here that you could use to do that.
Yeah.
I do.
Well, there's one out there that I know is not getting used.
I know. You could use it. I think that's a good idea. We've got to touch on this story. A new Heisman platform allows college football fans to cast votes.
Ooh.
Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
If not, we'll get into it next. Well, you now have a vote. That's right. You Tolos out there, you now have a vote for Heisman. Is that how this works, Diesel? I mean, anybody, everybody, Tom, cocky for a reason, anybody can vote for Heisman now?
God.
Is that scary or what?
It is scary because the internet will just get on some stupid trend for any reason. To be like, yeah, I like that guy's haircut. He said something funny in his post-game interview in week 2. Yep. Let's all vote for him for the Heisman.
So Bill Connolly put out an article today on ESPN. The new team at Heisman, Diesel Tolos, has launched Heisman Hopefuls, a data, storytelling, and fan voting platform aimed at expanding the conversation about the award given to the most outstanding player in college football. The platform will feature official player data, regularly updated EA Sports college football player ratings, and will allow fans to place the first official vote for the Heisman Trophy. So here's what the CEO, and then I want to get your reaction, Diesel, said about this. We surveyed college football fans, which is an extraordinary feat. Scary. And they told us clearly that they want more data on more players and more ways to engage with a Heisman Trophy throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
So now, every player who steps onto the field this fall begins the season as a Heisman hopeful with a chance to earn the award on the field of play. This platform, working hand in hand with the schools, helps to shine a light on those players and bring their stories forward all season long. So basically, you're not getting a Heisman vote. You have a hand in the data. I don't know how to describe it. This is weird.
Yeah. So it sounds like one of those carnival games where you spray water into the clown's mouth and the horse runs across the track and whichever. So it sounds like you're going to see something like
I love those games, by the way.
They are a lot of fun. They're classics. There's a reason why they still exist. But it just feels like they're saying, hey, stop going to ESPN.com and getting all this information. Come to our website because we give you more info.
Yeah, so fans collectively get one vote. That's what it boils down to. All the fans collectively get one vote.
Oh, good.
In the actual Heisman election. So that is the legitimate change. So if you think it's cool that your voice is now heard, bam, if you don't like the Heisman being influenced by quarterbacks and running backs, the new platform, I guess, is trying to make the process more data-driven. It gives players, Diesel, at every position exposure, right?
So now we can go give the defensive tackle at Wisconsin a vote, make sure he gets recognized because he was really good.
Yeah.
It's not fair that he never gets his due.
I wonder what it could do, like, from a momentum standpoint. Let's say a player isn't a preseason Heisman favorite, but he has a monster September. They start winning. His highlights go viral. His fan base starts voting for him.
He's got a funny name. That usually helps.
Yeah, Diego Pavia is a funny name. He climbs the Heisman hopefuls leaderboard, right?
Yeah.
Now ESPN starts talking about him. More people see him. More fans vote. Climbs even higher, right? This is a long shot. But I guess that's how you turn an outsider into a legitimate Heisman candidate. And because the fan vote ultimately produces like an actual Heisman ballot vote, it's not completely disconnected from the real award, right? So
yeah,
maybe Lenore Sellers.
I'm cynical. I'm too cynical for this, Cole. I think this is designed to give fans the illusion of some form of control or influence over the ultimate decision of who wins the Heisman.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's, hey, come look at our platform instead of theirs.
Yeah, and you get a vote.
Come look at our ads, not their ads.
Right, you get a vote. So here's the funny thing. Let's just say Lenoris is that guy that I just referred to. If Lenoris Sellers has the kind of season that Carolina fans are hoping for, like say 3,000 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, right? Let's say he runs for 600 yards. Maybe 700 yards and 8 or 9 touchdowns on the ground. Carolina wins 9 games. If they're a borderline playoff team, he's going to have a big opportunity here to build a national Heisman profile. And South Carolina has something that enormously matters for this new system, right? A passionate fan base, the voting, it goes hand in hand. If he starts playing like if the process, when it opens on September 9th, Diesel, from what I'm reading here in this article, now we know it's one vote. It's different than the other 900 media voters noticing Lenore Sellers.
Yeah.
But still, I just think that maybe there's a possibility that this could have it's a long shot, but maybe a little traction somewhere.
My first thought was, well, this is a bad idea because fans are, as we all know, extremely biased. But so are the Heisman voters.
Yeah.
They're biased. They're regionally biased, even though they're not supposed to be. They are biased. If you're in the Southeast, you're probably not going to vote for a guy for Heisman who's playing in the Pacific Northwest because you're just not seeing them as much. You're seeing guys that are playing in the Southeast. So I think it's more of an illusion of influence than actual influence, but we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Maybe in the future, Cole, they say, hey, guess what, fans? We're going to give you 3 votes instead of 1 vote. And then it becomes 5 votes. And all of a sudden, that's something, that might actually influence this award going forward. Hey, we just got the very first AP preseason polls. They are out. The question I have for you, Cole, and the Tolos at 844-326-3663, who is way overrated, who is way underrated, and where are the Clemson Tigers on this list? We'll talk about that next.
Date.
Well, Cole, for the first time since 2011, the Clemson Tigers do not find themselves ranked in the very first AP preseason poll. You and I both know, and we've gone over our opinions ad nauseum as to whether or not preseason polls are worth anything. And
Sure.
I think we all assume and know for a fact that they are not. But we also know that they do influence in some way, shape, or form how people feel about these teams as you get through a first couple of weeks. And then by the time you get to the first college football playoff poll, the first real poll, the first only poll that actually matters, all of these voters, all of these committee members have all started to form opinions in their minds of how good teams are because, well, they saw the number 2 next to that team's name when they played, and they saw the number 12 next to that team's name, and they didn't see any number next to that team's name. So it certainly does have an influence.
It is the reason, and I mean the reason, I have problems, major problems with these people who own a phone and a camera and all of a sudden call themselves food reviewers, and they go around town and they post reviews of restaurants, and they get famous because people think, oh, they have a phone and an opinion. So now, guess what, Diesel? Now me, Cole, you, Diesel, you and your wife, you're not going to go eat at a restaurant now because some woman who has an iPhone with a camera on the front and the back, by the way, real nice, decides that she's a food reviewer, even though she didn't go to school or anything. So guess what? Your opinion of that restaurant, even though you've never been, is already made up in your mind, your wife's mind. You're not going, you're not spending your money because the lady on Facebook who has a big following on Facebook and TikTok told you that the food wasn't any good. It's exactly what the AP, not the APP.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah, the AP poll does, and any other poll, it gives voters, it gives you and I a maybe untrue, maybe a false sense of what reality actually will be.
It's Restaurant Week in Greenville, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went to
what does that mean?
The wife and I. So a lot of restaurants will have pre-prepared menus for Restaurant Week.
Okay, cool.
And they've been talking about it all over the TV news shows.
Yeah.
And they have sort of like a tasting menu ready to go. So it's usually an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert.
I like
that's the tasting menu. And then you could still order whatever you want off the menu if that's not what you like.
Tasting menu.
But we went to a downtown spot. I don't know if we can shout them out. Let's make them an advertiser on the show. We went to the Lazy Goat downtown Greenville over the weekend. And there was some sort of huge festival going on down at that stage right there next to the river. It was awesome. Food was fantastic.
What a great marketing idea, by the way. Yeah. You already serve food.
Yep.
Your restaurant's always open, but we're going to create Restaurant Week. So more people come buy food for it's a great marketing.
I think it gives you a good reason to go try restaurants that you never go to. But you're right. There are some people to whom the word fancy written on the side of the ketchup bottle, they actually think it's fancy, and they don't have a clue about flavors. They don't have a clue how things blend together.
I think I have to check Facebook. On Twitter, I think I had 2 votes, two people on over the weekend that sided with me on the bacon. I think you had 2 or 3. You might have beat me on Twitter.
Well, I got the most important vote of all, Travis Hancock.
Yeah, WFNZ
is with me.
Yeah, on the floppy bacon. Alex on Facebook said floppy. Leprechaun Alignment said floppy. Charles said floppy. So I think I beat you on Facebook, but I think you beat me on Twitter. For those who don't know, I posted a video of some bacon yesterday, and it looks good. It looks good.
It looks good,
but it's real floppy, like I like it. And it's so good.
Again, I know this is bad radio because our listeners can't see this, but it's 3 strips of bacon. On all 3 of them, one side of it you can tell is cooked and ready to go. On the other side, there's not a whole lot of meat there. It just seems like that whole end, that last inch of that piece is all fat.
It's so good.
And I would not eat the fatty part.
Oh, that's the best part.
I would not eat the fatty part.
That's the best part.
A steak should be medium rare. Bacon should be medium to medium well.
You
like yours medium rare bacon.
I do.
Which is awful to me.
I really do. Can't beat it.
But yeah, Travis Hancock, Bone was with me. Brandon in Spartanburg was with me.
Come on, Brandon.
Yeah. Well, we both have our supporters on this. By the way, the texter who said that I have a Phil Steele Centaur poster over my bed, you need to go on the stream right now because I now have my Phil Steele Centaur Chat GPT. You got Phil all like jacked up and muscled up. His mustache looks great. His smile looks as wry as ever. And he is affixed to the body of a horse with clouds and a sunset and mountains behind him. I mean, it is breathtaking.
How did we get to here? Like, what, how did we get here? And our, I mean, what am I looking at right now? You know, like AI, man. I use it every day, so I'm not bagging on it. But what in the world?
Yeah, I want to paint that on the side of my Jeep. You know,
you should.
It's beautiful.
My God!
I'm gonna post that on Twitter at Diesel on Radio. I'm gonna tag Phil Steele to make sure he sees it, because Phil does all the he does a ton of media leading up to the season. He is all over the place. He just hasn't come on our show because I don't think we've ever asked him. We just respect him so much. We keep our distance.
Yeah, I don't think we ever have. Yeah. We never have.
Well, Clemson has a distance to make up, like I was saying, in the preseason top 25. They are not ranked, but obviously a week 1 win on the road at LSU, a team that is ranked, that I think is entirely overrated, would immediately put the Clemson Tigers in the mix there, probably move them up rapid movement, 10 spots to number 15 or so if they beat LSU in week 1.
Go that high?
Yeah, it depends on, because I don't think this has an others receiving votes category.
Who the other ones are.
So we don't know.
I think if
Clemson is like 26 or 27. I have a hard time believing that they would be much lower than that.
I'd say somewhere 20 to 22, maybe 23. I'd say
is where they should be
if they were to beat LSU.
Really?
Yeah.
So not that much love getting into the
let's remember
part of
LSU was 7-6 last year.
But LSU was preseason ranked number 11. If you go from unranked to beating the 11th, and I think that is laughable to have LSU at number 11 in the first year of Lane Kiffin. Laughable. To have them ranked, fine.
So you go from unranked.
I'd have them go from unranked to like 15, 16 if they beat LSU in week.
But what's that tell you about where we are in college football?
Nobody knows. It means nobody knows.
You went from 7-6. LSU did. Let's not forget that. Yep. LSU. I've said it a million times. They were 7-6 a year ago. So you go from unranked at 7-6 to 11. I don't know. You have a problem with it. I think it's too high as well. So you're ranked ahead of Texas Tech, which understandably they're kind of floundering a little. I don't know if floundering is the right word. They're in a flux.
Texas Tech. We know Texas Tech has talent. It's the whole
quarterback.
Brendan Sorsby situation. They apparently still feel really good about who's back.
Why? And I want you to answer this, and I want the Tolos to answer this as well. Why should LSU be ranked ahead of Alabama?
Insanity. It's the Lane Kiffin effect.
Please tell me.
That's entirely what it is.
How are they ranked? 11-4 Bama last year, Diesel. 11-4, right? Now, they're not going to move much early. Alabama plays East Carolina at noon on ABC week 1. But I just then you have that revenge game coming up in a couple of weeks with Florida State. Now, I think they'll get Florida State there, but come on. You are ranked. You go from 7-6 unranked to 11 because you had a good portal class, hired a good coach,
made a lot of head.
Wow, that's a big jump.
So one, I'm genuinely fine with.
Are you
1 through 10? I mean, you could maybe move some of these guys. There's one that I think, okay, I take that back. I'm good with 9 out of the top 10. Ohio State 1. Oregon 2,
good.
Georgia 3,
good.
Notre Dame 4. That's my big asterisk right there. Notre Dame, in no world should Notre Dame, who plays one of the weakest Power 4 schedules in the country, should they be rewarded with a preseason ranking of number 4? Because Notre Dame plays nobody.
But I think there's a rule in the AP that just like in the CFP, they have to be ranked top 4, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they have to be in the CFP.
They have the number 66 strength of schedule in the country. Only 6 Power 4 schools have an easier schedule.
Cupcakes.
I like it. So what's going to happen
is
Notre Dame is going to absolutely blast every single one of these teams on their schedule.
What is their schedule?
And here we go. Got it open right now.
Where do you find them in a Phil Steele magazine if there's no conference? Are they in the back?
The back
last
page
one?
206, by the way.
20, so I appreciate
206.
That. I got to find the page numbers
Wisconsin,
now.
in a neutral site game in Green Bay. They're going to blast Wisconsin. Then it's Rice, Michigan State, on the road at Purdue, on the road at North Carolina, Stanford. They don't play anyone with a pulse until mid-October when they go to BYU.
And I don't even know that that's a I mean, you're right, a pulse. They have a pulse.
Talked about this last year, last Friday. There are tickets for that Notre Dame at BYU game that are listed right now for $16,000.
What am I missing there?
It's Notre Dame coming to BYU. It's the Catholics versus the Mormons. You know? Now, the cheapest seat as of last Friday was like $500. The most expensive, 16 G's. And that's that's probably some crazy experience, right? Like they pick you up from the airport, they drive you in, they give you a massage, you get to eat crab legs. Not that kind of massage, Robert Kraft.
Sorry.
This is a Christian school, by the way.
It's a Mormon school. Crab leg. What a day.
Yeah, and then you get to go and you get to sit on the coach's lap.
I think I'd rather go watch
take his wife out for a date, and then boom, 16 G's.
I mean, look, it's a college football game, sure, but I think I'd rather go watch the Polk County. What are they in North Carolina? Bearcat, whatever they are. I mean,
right.
I mean, what's so special about Notre Dame and BYU? I don't know. And then they play Navy. Ooh, I mean,
yeah,
exactly. They have one tough game on their schedule.
It's BYU, Miami. Well, they play Miami and SMU.
I think Miami's really the only. I mean, SMU could give them a game.
The BYU game on the road is the one that makes me say, okay. And BYU, by the way, preseason ranked number 14. So they're theoretically, a top 15 team. So they've got 3 tough games all season long.
Do they play any road games?
At Purdue, at North Carolina,
at BYU,
at Syracuse. Yeah, they play four true road games.
4 tough ones. Oh my God.
I'm trying to read. So North Carolina's coming off of a bye when they play them. But Wisconsin is being played at Green Bay. So that's a neutral site game. They have 4 true road games all season.
You're right. That
insane.
And
they should be punished for that. Now, start them at number 20, and as they blast these opponents through the first 4 weeks of the season, 5 weeks of the season, slowly move them up. Fine. But don't give them all this spliff. Don't put them at number 4. And then when they go out and beat Wisconsin 66 to 9, say, oh, they're such a great football team. Of course they deserve to be number 4.
Well, here's what's funny about that. They're going to be number 1. Think about it.
Ohio State's going to lose to Texas.
Very well could happen.
Oregon could lose a ball game.
Oregon plays Ohio State. It's a little bit later in the year, but still, at some point this year, Notre Dame might be the number 1 team in the country. Georgia, my God, Georgia plays in the SEC. So you tell me right now, with that schedule, they're starting number 4. I tell you by the end of the season, I'll give you a date. I'll tell you about week 8. Week 8, Notre Dame's number 1 in the country. I'm just saying, look at the.
They're going to start 7-0,
no doubt. And
then
Georgia,
before they go to a bye.
If Georgia loses 1, they'll drop behind them a couple of spots, right?
I would hope. I would think, but I would hope that the SEC bias at this point keeps Notre Dame at bay.
Georgia has Oklahoma, Alabama, and Florida, and Ole Miss. If Georgia loses 1, I don't know that they will. I think Georgia's going to be really good this year. They went 12-2 last year, but if Georgia just drops 1 game, Notre Dame's got a really good chance of being. You're right, though. It's a pitiful schedule.
Unbelievable. Notre Dame 4, Texas 5, Indiana 6, Miami 7, A&M 8, Ole Miss 9, Oklahoma 10. I'm okay with all of those except for Notre Dame at number 4. By the way, Notre Dame got 6 first-place votes. The hell are we doing here? The hell are we doing? They got the most cupcake schedule you can get. This is where it gets weird, Cole. Number 11, LSU. I got no reason to say that LSU is not a rankable team, but they're in the 20s. First digit 1 is crazy for LSU. We don't know what they are in the first year under Lane Kiffin. Second year under Lane Kiffin, if this year they jump from 7-6 to 9 wins, okay, rank them number 11 to start the season next year, but you don't know what they have. This is entirely based on the reputation and the brand of LSU.
Yeah, and I think, look, when you talk about them being a better team, we all, anybody listening right now, we all agree that, yes, they're going to be better. They're going to be a better football team. They're probably not going to go 7-6 with Lane Kiffin. They've got a really good portal class. They've got Sam Levitt. If Sam Levitt stays healthy, we can probably bet the bank they're not going 7-6 in 2026. So, to your point, should they be ranked? Yeah, I guess so. Rank them somewhere. But I guess my biggest issue is you got a BYU team who went 12-2 a season ago, and I know BYU Notre Dame is Super Bowl, right? You got a BYU team, Diesel, who went 12-2 a year ago. Alabama went 11-4, and that LSU team that went 7-6 is ahead of them. And it begs the question: well, if that's the case, what's the criteria in this AP poll? Does last year's results really matter? Do last year's results have a sway on?
No.
And I get that they shouldn't be the end-all, be-all because it's a new team. But here's my question. Here's my problem. You have a different team than you had last year, right? We established that. You're not 7-6 anymore because you have a new, better team, we think. But this is my biggest problem, Diesel, with the polls. From the time the season ended to now, when this APP, I've said that twice now.
Yeah, you know me. I'm going to say it every
time.
What
am I doing? ACC, not APP. When this AP poll comes out, from the time the season ended to now, portal rankings, in my opinion, shouldn't dictate rankings in an AP poll. Should they end the season when those players and that talent actually starts producing? Sure. Yeah. That's what, like, we forget that this game's played on Saturdays, right? We forget, Davo's had a really good recruiting class. We forget the game's played on Saturday. What happens on Saturday is what matters. And nothing in my mind, like if I'm an AP voter, LSU was 7-6, this year they're going to be better. What's happened in that gap? What's happened in between? Well, outside of them signing guys in the portal, nothing. Like, what is the cause to the effect? The effect is, okay, now they're 11. What caused that? I think that's the biggest hurdle we have when it comes to these polls and how they work.
Guaranteed they're being influenced by the amount of money that LSU spent on their roster.
Yeah, it has to be.
Like that is an indication of how good you're going to be.
And it can be.
It's not.
But it's not a guarantee.
Right.
It's tough.
Further down this list, starting with number 12, Texas Tech, Alabama. Alabama's got a new quarterback. That's why they're not as good as LSU with all their question marks. Let's see, BYU number 14, Southern Cal 14, so they've got them tied for the number of points. Michigan 16, Washington 17, Penn State 18, SMU 19, with a quarterback that some people are looking at as a preseason Heisman hopeful or favorite. They've got SMU all the way down at number 19. Tennessee at 20, Utah 21, Iowa 22, Houston 23, Louisville 24, and Missouri 25. Clemson not ranked.
I think SMU's the interesting wild card there.
Yeah.
At 19, like, again, 9-4 last year. Here's what you do. You open up week 1 at Florida State. Now, Florida State's not enough anymore to move the needle, the meter in a way that like changes your ranking in a drastic way. But it could. You go win that game if you're SMU. Let's look. SMU has Florida State. Here you go. Here's the wild card. SMU at 19 has Florida State on the road. That's on Labor Day. Think about this. Let's say they beat Florida State. Mm-hmm. So you start at 19, you beat Florida State, then you play UC Davis. That's a win.
Beating the brand is worth more than beating the actual team.
But listen to this. The very next week, you're on the road at Louisville. So 2 of your first 3 games, Diesel, for SMU, at Florida State, at Louisville, and then 3 weeks later, you get Virginia. I mean, you're going to have opportunity here, and I don't know. And then, by the way, at the end of the season, you're at Notre Dame. I don't know how good SMU will be. My point being, SMU's got some opportunity, even in the ACC, to make some hay, to earn some money, right? Move up in this poll and talk about a playoff team. Of course, you want to win the conference, but there's some games where you start at 19, you might be A-okay.
We're going to be doing a lot of predictions as we get to the next 2 weeks, through the next 2 weeks of the show, Cole. One fun thing to always predict is who among this AP top 25 preseason will fall out of the top 25 at some point this season.
You just never know. That's what makes it fun. There's Grayson Mann on the stream. We're coming to Grayson in the very next segment after this. He joins us every Monday. We'll get to Grayson Mann of TigerNet next on the Fan Upstate. Well, it is time to talk Clemson with Grayson Mann, TigerNet.com. Grayson joins us all the time on this radio station. He is no stranger to you out there in the upstate. However, during football season, it's a regular occurrence starting today, 4/22. Grayson Mann of TigerNet.com joins the show. And Grayson, in the last segment, Diesel and I were talking about the AP poll. The last time Clemson was not in the AP to start the season, Grayson Mann was how old in 2011?
I was 10 heading into the fall of 2011.
Wow. A wee pup.
10 years old the last time that Clemson was not in the AP. does that, I guess my question is, does it matter? Is it a big deal? Do we make too big of a deal of it? What are your thoughts on the slippage, I guess, that this is the first time in a long time that Clemson's not starting the season ranked?
I think depending on who you ask, it matters. I think after Clemson started fourth and then completely plummeted out of the AP poll, maybe Clemson fans like the inverse this time around of being 26th if we count the other receiving votes. But yeah, some of the selections will always confuse me. You've got some of the bigger brands in there that are probably a little overinflated. Some of them, like Iowa's always a guarantee to be 22 or 23 in that window. And then you just have a few of the, like LSU at 11 feels a little more inflated because of the talent from like the results from last year. How do you adjudicate that? There's a lot of moving parts. So it doesn't matter right now because the college football playoff ranking is the say all be all for how the playoff is and the postseason is put together. But it is a good idea to see where potential biases could lie, where the nation thinks that the best teams currently stand. So there's some intrigue to it, and it also means we're a little bit closer to football starting.
Yeah, Grayson, but you know as well as I do that the committee will see the numbers next to teams' names that are playing early in the season, and they will apply some level of bias to a team and an assumption on how good a team is. You may not know. Somebody always will start inside the top 10 and then finish the season unranked. And it means they weren't really a top 10 team before the season began. Want to get your overall assessment of where this Clemson team is now a week into camp as far as how healthy they are, because there's a big story out of Columbia over the weekend that 2 of their wide receivers went down for the season. How healthy are the Tigers right now?
I would say for the most part, they're doing pretty well. There's been some bumps and bruises here and there. I would say maybe Polo Anderson is probably the most significant injury thus far that I would, if we had to list it out, and it's not a very long list, thankfully for Clemson, it is one of those things where this is a group that needs to be healthier than probably in years past, where you felt like going into it, okay, they could probably afford to lose this, that. This year's a little different. Like, you're very thin at linebacker, you're very thin at defensive tackle. Quarterback, of course, we don't know what's going to happen there. Those guys are usually protected this time of year. Running back, how's that going to look? So I would say for the most part, this team is pretty healthy as of August 17th. That obviously is subject to change, but as of right now, the most that I've heard is Polo Anderson, and that's about it.
And when it comes to Polo, I mean, that's a big piece. I don't know that he was projected to be a starter, but I do, Grayson, correct me if I'm wrong here, believe he was going to see significant playing time, even in his first season at Clemson. Two-part question, and maybe I was given some misinformation over the weekend. Where did the injury, what field did it happen on, Grayson?
I think it was on Friday's practice, which would put them in Jervy. I don't know if that got a lot of pushback as to the location of it, but
well, that's what I was told as well, from someone who, again, it's information. And if that's true, let's shift to that answer. Is that a big deal? I mean, Dabo talked the day before about putting the team in uncomfortable situations, going and playing basically in a parking lot, right? Is what he said. So if that happened over in Jervy and not on the field where they normally play, is that not being made a big enough deal in your mind?
I would be more concerned if it was a non-contact injury. I think the way that they at least Sweeney described it to us on Saturday was that he was going up for a ball with somebody else, so it was a contested situation. You never know how you're going to come down on those, so it could have easily been that he landed on someone's shoe. He could have just landed awkwardly himself, trying to contort his body to make a play. So if we're sitting here and it's non-contact, maybe it was something that was in the grass that caused the injury. I don't know if we'd ever learn that. That would be a little more concerning. But they've been doing this Jervy thing for years. Obviously, injuries happen. But I think with the context of Polo Anderson, it was more a freak accident on a play than anything of the environment they were working with.
Braden Jacobs said that Chad Morris has come in and really helped this team gel or be more connected than they were last year. What does that actually mean? Connected sounds like a great buzzword to say, but what does that actually mean? How does it translate to the field?
Yeah, he said something that really caught my attention was that there's just a different mindset with this unit. And I pressed him and said, well, what does that specifically mean? And so, Diesel, to answer your question, I think that not only is Morris, I think, brought a little bit more detail to this offense and just a few more things are buttoned up. It sounds like there's a group out there that is a little younger and is pretty pissed off, to be frank, about last year, where they did go 7-6. They got embarrassed on a weekly basis. And so for Jacobs, his idea was, yeah, this camp is all about competition, but for him, it's redemption from last year, where there was so much expectation and they just flew way below it. So I think that there is some truth to that, where, yeah, this unit feels a little bit more connected. There is this synergy that Morris brings, where there's a purpose behind plays. There's a purpose in every detail. So it just feels a little bit more buttoned up with the operation. Will that translate to wins or more wins in this case? I don't know yet. We haven't seen Morris's operation on the field in terms of Saturdays, but all the right things are certainly being said.
Grayson, I just wonder, and there's video of this interaction on your Twitter at Gray_man21. Was Braden standing on a box when you asked him this question? Were you sitting in a chair? Because the man looks enormous.
I had to put the phone in 0.5 because I don't think I could cover the frame. But no, he was not standing on a box. That man's just naturally that big. He is a massive human being.
Grayson, we asked a reporter this last week. I believe, I don't know if it was a Gamecock reporter or a Panthers reporter, one of the two. From what you've seen thus far in spring practice and fall camp, in fall camp, do you feel like on the 17th day of August, as a reporter, someone who does this for a living, before fall camp started to now, on August 17th, do you feel like you, as someone who has seen limited practice, but still more practice than the fans, has a better grasp on this team, or maybe still wait and see what happens in Baton Rouge? Where are you on that right now?
I think I'm still in the wait and see mode territory. You hear good things about what Vizina's been doing in scrimmages and some of the more practices behind the scenes, and just the offensive line is looking a little better. But again, that's all practice. I mean, there were plenty of times where Klubnik is lighting it up in practice. Like, LSU better watch out. And we saw what happened last fall. So I think for this case and for this team, I'm a little bit more cautiously optimistic. And yeah, you're hearing all the right things, but it's one thing to practice well against your own teammates for weeks on end. But when it comes down to 100,000 people screaming and having to do that operation is a totally different aspect. So I think with this Clemson team, a little bit more cautious, a little more wait and see mode.
So to that point, there is Christopher Vizina lighting it up in practice.
I think it's been a situation. This is going to sound very coach speak, because every time I've tried to ask players about the quarterbacks, you're getting I love all the quarterbacks, and they'll list even Trent Pierman as one of the options. And I'm like, that's not what I mean. You know that. So they're very media trained on that. But I've been hearing that early on in camp, it was very much Vizina's. It was him on the rise, as to say, and he was winning a majority of the days. But I think Reynolds really picked up some steam in Saturday's scrimmage. So this is a quarterback battle that I think is going to continue to be played out. Sweeney will be as coy with us as intentionally possible, but I would say as of right now, Vizina is going to be the leader in the clubhouse. But I think Reynolds, it comes down to when in the season, if things start to get a little topsy-turvy for Clemson.
If things do get sideways at some point, I think, most Clemson fans out there, Grayson, wouldn't be surprised if they saw Tate Reynolds at some point this season. But for you, does that add, in your opinion, does that add a little bit of an extra layer of pressure to Vizina, just to know that, hey, at any point, if you go out there and mess up, or you go out there and throw a pick in this situation, if you go out there against LSU and you can't get it done late in the game, or you mess up against whatever it is, does that put more pressure on him in your mind that, man, he just doesn't feel like he has the room to breathe, I guess? Does that make sense?
I would say so, just because it's not like 2018 where Kelly Bryant had a full season's worth of a resume to back up and say, yeah, I can maybe throw a pick here, but the staff's not going to pull the leash on me so quickly. Of course, Trevor took over in that situation, but there's one start to Vizina's name, and it's a season where Clemson went 7-6. So the pressure internally, not just him, but the staff to fix this, it's going to fall a lot on the quarterback. And if Vizina isn't playing well early, the shiny object on the sideline will be Tate Reynolds. And so it will be tough for the staff, who is very high on the kid, tremendous upside, but also Vizina's done really well in camp. So it's the discount that we got to talk about one, we got to put down the other. It's maybe not as simple as that, but I would say that this quarterback battle is a little bit more unique because of what happened last year. This team didn't go to the playoffs and win a game, and they just ran into a really great team. They're in the Pinstripe Bowl. And so there's a little bit of a different pressure to get back to that playoff race. And a lot of that's going to have to fall on the quarterback's shoulders.
Yeah, but Grayson, it wasn't until halftime of the national championship game that Nick Saban thought that Jalen Hurts wasn't the guy, and he stuck Tua in, and Tua did what Tua did. And so the question is, I mean, maybe you could say those two were neck and neck all the way to that point in the season. How bad, or is it far-fetched to think that Dabo Swinney might be willing to make a quarterback change at halftime of the LSU game, or in your mind, would Christopher Vezina get the entire LSU game regardless of how bad he might be?
Yeah, that's tough to answer. And I guess to your Jalen Hurts point, I mean, was it? I don't know what the exact ranking was for Tua, but I'm pretty sure he was a 5-star, right? Like there was that generational hype around him, similar to a Lawrence. I could be totally wrong there, but I remember that buzz being pretty similar. But yeah, I don't have a great answer to that as for how much of a leash Vezina has. I would be pretty shocked if Swinney made a pretty sudden move in the LSU game unless things were going drastically wrong. I guess you just have to see how it looks. If it looks like he can't move the ball at all, they got to make a move and they got to try to find a spark there. So I would say in that window pre-bye, Diesel, if there's going to be a quarterback change, it would be then.
And that's what's interesting when you talk about when a quarterback change could happen. Let me veer off from the quarterback for a second, Grayson, as we're joined by Grayson Mann, TigerNet.com, right here on the Fan Upstate, 97.1 FM, Spartanburg, 97.7 FM, Greenville, 101.5 FM, and Anderson. Grayson, when you talk about the position of running back, who the quarterback will be handing the ball to, what have you seen thus far in fall camp? I know that last year was a unique year for Clemson fans where they had to kind of live a new life, where they had a wide receiver that played a lot of running back, and it was unique, right? They weren't used to it. Fans, media, nobody was really used to Adam Randall coming from wide receiver over to running back. What have you seen that you think maybe could give fans a little bit more hope in terms of this running back room just a couple of weeks ahead of the season starting is in a much better spot than it was last year? Would you say that's safe to say, or maybe not?
I think with the coordinator, you're in a much better spot. I think there's going to be more of an intentionality to run the football where it won't be completely abandoned like it was in LSU last year, where Adam Randall is the sole reason you scored and he gets the ball once in the second half. I don't anticipate that being the case. But for me, in some of the pressings of the interviews that we've done, some of the questions I've pressed on is we got a little tidbit from Marcus Strong on Friday, I want to say, about, man, this run game, a lot more physical with that offensive line. And in the scrimmage, some big run plays were blown out. You had like some 60-yard runs. I think Swinney said one got called back because of a blindside block. But they are making those big chunk plays on the ground. And so when you have guys like Gideon Davidson, who has to make that leap, Chris Johnson Jr., who's kind of in his own category as a tailback, where I think he's going to be used in a variety of different ways. But also Jarvis Green had a nice scrimmage on Saturday. So that running back room, Swinney has come up and said he feels like that room is a little bit more underestimated. And I think when people hear Swinney say that, they might roll their eyes a bit. It's like, yeah, okay, it's trademark optimism right here. But it sounds like from what we've heard, this running back room has actually made some tremendous strides so far.
Grayson, I'm sure there are those debates on your content, on the message boards that you guys run, that they just never die, right? They come around, they pop back up every year, 2 years, whatever. They just never die. So I'm going to bring you into a debate that keeps popping up here on this show. Bacon and your level of crispiness or not crispiness that you prefer your bacon to be cooked. So on a level of 1 being you basically took it out of the package and looked at it, and on a 10 being burnt to a crisp, the same color as my black cell phone case here. Okay. Where do you like your bacon cooked?
Who picked 1? That's my first question.
Nobody. I'm just giving you the extremes here, okay? I'm just giving you the full extremes.
I'm a crispy guy. I like my bacon very, very crispy. There's just the added texture that it's not burnt. It's just an added texture to it where it's like the floppy bacon. Like that's like floppy pizza. I don't want that. I don't want that in my pizza.
Yeah, but bacon's not pizza, Grace.
If it's pink, it's raw. If it's red, then it's cooked.
Hey, I got it for you, Cole. If it's flop, it's slop. So that's all I got to say.
Say that again. Say that again.
If it's flop, it's slop.
Cole
Grayson,
wants to
I don't
bite
like- I
into
don't
a
like
bacon piece and like stretch the fat out.
So
That's gross.
here's the picture. This was the bacon I cooked yesterday, and I'm going to put it on the stream. This has been the biggest debate on the show thus far, so I'm going to allow you to. I think that's the right
now,
one.
if Cole's making me bacon, I might be a little nicer, but
okay, anything wrong with that? Does that not just look like the best bacon you've ever had in your life?
He hesitated. He's trying to figure out the nice way of saying.
No, don't be nice.
There's
Be
just not
honest.
as much like it. I don't know, Cole. I would eat it for sure. It's bacon, but
you wouldn't prefer it. Like
I think
that,
you
like
left a
you
little
wouldn't
bit
take
more
it-
meat on the bone here, pun intended.
It's almost there. It's almost there. Give it another like 2 or 3 minutes in the pan,
Give
then
it
it's
one more
done.
time.
What
Give it
y'all
one
don't
more time.
understand is just like steak. You keep cooking that thing, all the flavor's gone. It's gone.
That's not true at all.
You have cooked the flavor out of the bacon, and you eat your cardboard bacon how you'd like it.
Cardboard
Hey,
is crazy.
Cardboard. Grayson, how do you judge Cade Klubnik in the NFL after this past weekend? You know, I logged on to social media maybe yesterday morning, and just here come the Cade Klubnik highlight tapes, right? Not a bad performance. How would you assess what he did? And, you know, given that it's preseason.
It's funny that you asked that because I have a few Jet fans that are friends that are Jet fans, and they're also Clemson alums. So they've seen the Cade Klubnik experience for the last several years, and I got a text that's like, "Oh, future of the franchise," and I'm like, I don't know if you watched the same season I did last year, but all right, man, like great. Like it was good. It was a fine debut against the backups. I don't like to put too much stock into the preseason because there's so many restrictions on it where you're either playing with backups, you're playing backups, and the coaching staff, the play calling on both sides is very vanilla to where you're maybe seeing 3 different coverages. So you're not really having to dissect and read a ton. It's are they playing in shells, they play in quarters, and you kind of make the throws from there. So he looked good. He had the ball to Garrett Wilson for the big game was I would give the credit.
Garrett Wilson gets the right. My God, what a pull, right?
That was. Did you see the clip of warmups where he snagged one back from? Yeah, I felt like he had like contorted his body sideways, and
yeah, you just have to get it in range. Get it in range of Garrett Wilson.
Maybe that's the coaching tip: is just either he gets it or nobody does. So I'm not going to try to act like I know any better than the professionals, but it is the Jets. So
what's that mean though, Grayson? Like, does he, in your opinion, does he make the roster?
Oh, absolutely. I think he'll be the backup quarterback for the Jets. And I watched Bailey Zappi and Brady Cook play right after him, and rough. Like if it looks rough in the preseason, that's when the opinions start to come out a little bit, especially for some NFL vets like Bailey Zappi. He was throwing the kids have been saying meatball subs for the duration of my viewing period.
It would also be a huge indictment on Garrett Riley if he had multiple years with Cade and never achieved what we thought he would. And then he goes and he's learning under Frank Reich, who's the OC of the Jets. Most people probably didn't know that. Frank Reich has been bounced around from place to place to place. And if Frank Reich gets quality play out of him, that says a lot about Garrett Riley.
Shout out to Frank Reich. He's a solid offensive mind. But I'll take that a step further with you guys. Cade Klubnik's going to start a few NFL games this year.
Whoa.
I think it happens.
How about it?
That's a bigger indictment on the Jets than it is a lot of things.
That's true, too.
Yeah.
Grayson Smith at 37, so I don't know how much gas is left in that engine.
You're the best, man. Appreciate you as always. We will talk to you next week, and we'll be one step closer to having real football back, right?
Some week 0 predictions. We can start making that next weekend.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Grayson, man, TigerNet.com. Always a pleasure. You'll hear them right here on Mondays from now until the time the season's over. So if you're a Clemson fan, bookmark it in your phone, put a reminder, you can ask Siri to set reminders. You do that, Diesel? You just
all the time,
right?
All the time.
Use Siri and remind you that Grayson, man, coming on, Talk Clemson, 4:22 on Mondays.
Let's see. I knew Grayson, man, was a smart guy. I knew I liked Grayson. He went Team Crispy Bacon. Texter got in 35 minutes ago and said, people who eat floppy bacon also have floppy wrists. Interesting.
Floppy wrist.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but
let's just get out of this real quick, Cole, because this could turn sour. Let's talk about our daily wires next.
Upstate.
Well, a lot to get to here on our Daily Wires, Cole. There's so much happening. These are the wires, the buzz around the sports world. The Atlanta Braves sputtered coming off of a one-day break. They lost 2 of 3 while hosting the Diamondbacks over the weekend. 2-0 loss Friday night, 10-3 loss on Saturday, but a 5-3 victory yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes it a little less sour when you went on Sunday, but just a bad weekend, man.
Yeah.
The pitching was horrible. You gave up way too many runs, and I don't know. The Braves are really good at just being inconsistent right now.
Braves will play at Minnesota tonight, 7:40 Eastern. Martin Perez will get the start, facing right-hander Bailey Ober from Minnesota. He is 5-1 as a starter at home this season, so tough challenge tonight for the Bravos. Hey, Cole, this is great, and we're excited to finally put this back out there for our Tolos. We'll be joined again this season by Clay Hendricks, the head football coach of the Furman Paladins, every Thursday. But next week, a little bit different because they play on Thursday. So Coach Hendricks is going to move up to Wednesday, August 26th at 6:20 p.m. He'll be in that slot every single week, all season long.
Yes, cannot wait for that.
Bad news for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Mentioned this earlier. 2 wide receivers will miss the season. Senior transfer Jaden Gibson and sophomore Jaden Sellers each endured lower body injuries last week in practice. Both will miss the entire season. Really unfortunate
tough
for
break.
those 2 guys. Mario Cristobal said during his weekly appearance on WQAM in Miami that wide receiver Cam Vaughn has been dismissed from the team, but didn't say why. Cam made 35 receptions for 541 yards and 4 touchdowns last year at West Virginia.
What do you mean it didn't say why? It's Miami.
You can read between the lines. I mean, if it was Georgia, we'd know exactly why.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Heisman CEO Jeff Price announced a new platform called Heisman Hopefuls, complete with extended player data and a voting page that will allow fans to get real-time player info and allow fans to vote daily for who they think should be the Heisman winner.
Wow.
That's fun.
New stuff.
Kurt Signetti was asked about playing Notre Dame as an in-state rivalry game, and he said, quote, "I'd like to play Notre Dame. They ought to come to our place twice, and we'll go there once since they're not in a conference."
Yes. Yes, you're right, Coach.
Your response, Leprechaun of Lyman. How about that? Jeremiah Love is dealing with a high ankle sprain and is unlikely to play the rest of the preseason for the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are hoping to have him back for week 1 when they'll face the Chargers.
Love it. Love it.
Vikings medical staff confirmed that linebacker Jamal Adams will miss the 2026 season because of a right knee injury that he suffered Saturday in the team's 13-10 preseason victory over the Giants. You never like seeing these guys going down in preseason. No. That's unfortunate. Yeah. The Carolina Panthers didn't take the momentum off of their Hall of Fame game victory in Buffalo because they got pounded 29-14. One of those was a garbage time touchdown. Bryce Young, 3 for 5 for 18 yards. Kenny Pickett, 16 for 19 for 92 yards and a touchdown and a rush of 16. But, hey, former Panther DJ Moore had a big game. He had 61 yards on 3 receptions.
Yeah, you don't want to see that, though.
No.
Not against your old team, right?
But he's a good guy. Yeah. We like him. Scotty Scheffler, more like Scotty Sandbaggers. Scotty opened the PGA Tour playoffs with a dominant 8-shot win in the FedEx St. Jude Championship. He posted a massive 61 in his second round and kept the momentum going for the 21st win of his career, ending nearly 7 months without a tournament victory.
How about it? Better late than never.
Yeah, Cole, this is not sports related per se, but some of our Tolos, whenever we bring up sports movies, one of their number 1 sports movies is always Remember the Titans. Everybody loves that movie.
It's going.
Sad news, the little girl that was in that movie who was just insane about football, Hayden Panettiere, she passed away here in Greenville over the weekend. It's odd.
She's young too, right?
Yeah, she was about 36 years old. But apparently her boyfriend or husband was from Greenville or had family in Greenville, so that's why she was here. But unfortunately ended in tragedy.
30-something years old, man.
Yeah.
That scares you.
And last one for you here. South Carolina announced that they will bring the R&B tour featuring Chris Brown and Usher to Williams-Brice Stadium October 29th. So that's going to be during the season. How about that? Pulling off a big-time concert during the season. Tickets will go on sale next Monday, the 24th.
Have you bought yours yet?
Oh yeah, I bought two just for me. Yeah. Like I want to I want to have extra space so that I can dance, you know?
You should.
And those are our daily wires.
Yes, all in one segment. Diesel, it is Overreaction Monday. Overreaction Mondays, let's just put it frank, they suck when you don't have football, but football is kind of back NFL-wise, and it's really close to being back, like, college-wise. It's back high school-wise. It starts this week, but Overreaction Monday doesn't stop you. Tolos overreact at 844-326-3663. without Googling, I want to know how many Tolos can call into this station right now and tell me what the mascot is at Elon. Diesel just showed me a picture of their new logo, and I'll start the overreaction by saying that's a god-awful logo. Is there any way you can get that on the stream in the next few minutes? Because I joked with you that ChatGPT could probably design a better logo. I'm going to, while you're doing that, I'm going to see if ChatGPT really can. Are they at university or college? Is that Elon University?
Elon University, yeah.
I've got to see this again. Elon University, new logo. Is it unveiled today, I guess, right?
I would imagine.
Oh, it's bad. It looks like a big chicken.
So this is on their website. It is official. It was unveiled today at 10:56 a.m.
Okay.
I'm about to put it on the stream. Stand by.
It's bad. It looks like a Virginia Tech Hokie with different colors.
And there it is on the stream, the new look Elon mascot.
That's that. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is that? Really? That is bad.
That's like a 4. Now, their old logo was pretty bad too. If anyone, I mean, you look at that, you may not know what that is.
No, what is it? What is it?
It is a phoenix. You know, the fiery bird that rises from the ashes. That is a phoenix.
Shane Barrett?
Dan B says that is not a phoenix.
So here's what I'm doing right now. I've got our researcher, Chad GPT, the official show researcher. I am seeing if Chad GPT can give us his best shot. And I want to see if live on radio, Chat GPT can come up with a better logo, because that's pretty pathetic. How similar is that to a Gamecock and a Hokie, Diesel? And I mean, I know we have Gamecocks right here in this state, but is that not like a Virginia Tech? I'm going to Google Virginia Tech Hokie now.
So I'm also going to pull their old Elon logo, which the old Elon logo looked more badass, but it was like less discernible exactly what it was.
It's just an animal, man. Like the animal stuff's overused. It's just an ugly old animal.
Well, it's not an animal. It's not a real thing.
But that looks like an animal to me, right?
I mean, it is. They made it a bird. It looks like the Delaware Blue Hens logo. I'm sure not many of our Tolos are going to know that Delaware Blue Hens.
I'm just proud of you for knowing that.
I'm just saying. Well, I know them because we beat them in the national title game once. And that's where Joe Flacco went.
It just, to me, it looks way too similar to the Hokie. It does.
This was the old Elon logo, and like it looks like a firebird with like this kind of tough looking. It's not great, but it has like the letter E.
It's not great. You're
cut
right.
out of the wings.
Okay.
But like if you didn't know what it was looking at it, you wouldn't be like, you would never see that and say that's a phoenix.
So I just had, look who it is. I'll put that call on hold. We'll get to it in a second. So this is all fun. So Elon, if you just tuned in and you're thinking, what's going on right now? Like, what are they talking about? Elon got not a new mascot, a new logo.
Yes.
And Diesel showed the old one.
Yep.
Kind of looks Cleveland Cavalier-ish a little bit to me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Good point.
It does. The new one's bad. Now, I'm going to tell you how great AI is. While we were talking about it, in 42 seconds, AI, I had Chad GPT, our in-studio
producer.
Research. I had Chad come up with one that I thought was better. And I said, here's the new one. Design one that's better. 42 seconds. 42 seconds is what it took.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this? That's the wrong one.
Wow. Womp womp.
Wait a minute. Let's try this again. What about that?
That's so much better.
So much better, right? For those listening on the radio, I apologize. You can't watch the stream. You can't see what we have on the stream, but how cool is that?
It's tough looking. It's mean looking.
It is.
It's intimidating. It would look great on a helmet.
It would look on a white helmet.
That's great.
Should I send that to Elon? And Elon, not Musk, Elon University.
Texter says the Elon mascot are the Muskers. That's incorrect, but nice try.
The Elon Phoenix. And the Chat GPT, what's embarrassing is about these graphic designers, not saying graphic designers aren't good at their job, but what's embarrassing is that is a freaking awesome logo right there.
Yeah.
Like that is so cool. And Chat GPT did that in 42 seconds, but instead you put this chicken that looks like he's on Ozempic on the thing, right? I mean, that's what it looks like.
He's got no pecs. He's got no muscles. He's got no shoulders.
It's pathetic. Pathetic. So starting Overreaction Monday by saying Elon University, what are we doing with this new mascot? And a miss.
That's going to be on their stuff for like a decade,
That's
because they don't change mascot logos all that often.
What's worse, that logo or South Carolina's new shade of garnet?
Does South Carolina know what shade of garnet they even are anymore? See, like I had a debate about that last week.
Yeah.
Nike's excuse is, well, this Pantone 202, I think, is their official color code. It just looks different on different materials. That's not your job. Like, what would South Carolina fans rather have? Would they rather know that the shirt that they're wearing is Pantone 202 and have it look funny? Or would you rather wear a shirt that looks like your color of garnet, regardless of what color code it is? You want it to look like the color code. So whether it's on a cotton jersey or a blended material hat, you want the garnet to look the same.
It doesn't. It does not. It does not. Let's kick to the phone lines where Tom in Somerville has, I guess, made his trek back home from Germany, right? Is that where he was, Germany?
Tomas is now on the phones.
Tomas, Tom in Somerville, have you made it back home? By the way, Tolos, Overreaction Monday, 844-326-3663. Are we speaking to Tom in Somerville or a location disclosed?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I'm back.
That's good.
I'm back.
You're back.
Good.
Thanks for the call, Tom. Appreciate you, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, next up, Dewey.
I'm kidding. We're kidding. Tom, how was it?
I got to tell you this. I did not realize how much the Germans loved American football.
Really?
And I'll tell you this much as well. There's this man, I can't pronounce his name, but he was the MVP of the night because he had him one of those little dollies that was probably built in the 1930s, and he was pushing kegs back and forth from one side of the field to the other side of the field for about 4.5 hours. And how this man did that, I don't know. Because if one of them kegs would have fallen off that dolly, it would have been utter chaos. Because where he was pushing it was the top of the hill. And at the bottom of the hill was where the football was being played.
Is this a real story, Tom?
This is a real story. And all night long, that man was able to push them kegs from one side of the field to the other, and he didn't drop it one time. I was absolutely amazed.
Diesel, that sounds like a bedtime story you hear in Germany, I guess.
They went through probably about 40 kegs during that game as well.
So Tom, when you told the locals there about South Carolina football, did you tell them the truth or did you lie to them and tell them they were good?
Well, so the score of the game I went to was 50-15, okay?
Oof.
And
used to that.
This is how I compared it. I said 2 years ago, the Gamecocks were the team that scored 50 points. Last year, the Gamecocks were the team that scored 15 points. So we're just hoping we're somewhere between that this year.
So what can you bring us into, like, we're all confused here. What kind of football game did you go to in Germany?
So they play by college football rules on the field. Ain't many rules off the field.
Dorm room rules off the field.
On the field, they play American college football rules. So
does it have a name?
The only difference is 12-minute quarters compared to 15-minute quarters. But outside of that, they can have 2 Americans on the field at one time. The rest of them have to be European players.
That's very protectionist there.
And they do that so that the teams that have all the money won't go buy all American players.
The Dodgers.
Is the whole exactly. They're preventing the Dodgers from taking over the league.
Well, I'm surprised that you didn't just walk out on the field and for the team that was getting their asses beat 50-14 and just say, "Hey, I can play. I'm American. I'm better than anybody you got on this squad."
You know, I did give the officials a piece of my mind because I'll tell you what. Not only did I not understand a word they were saying, you could pick up on what the penalty was based on, the hand signals. And there were multiple times where I looked at some people I was with and said, how in the world is that a penalty? When we talk about officiating in the United States, and everybody knows I'm not a fan of officials, but my goodness, this was the worst officiated football game I think I have ever watched in my entire life. Before the end of the first quarter, there were 15 penalties.
Oh. Yeah, and
only 2 of them were pre-snap penalties.
And Tom, this kind of leads me to my question I had for you the whole time over there watching that garbage. What possesses someone to leave Somerville, which is pretty nice place, right? What possesses someone to leave Somerville and go to Germany to watch a football game? Were you just bored? Do you have too much money?
Well, I got family in Germany, so I had to go experience it one time. And, to kind of put all this in a picture, the regular season games, they probably have between 3,000 and 6,000 people there, depending on the stadium.
Like a high school game here.
Most of them are pretty small stadiums. But when they get into the playoffs, they play in the big German soccer stadiums. So as they get to the championship game, they may have between 30 and 40,000 people.
Oh, wow.
So, but I did not expect the people of Germany to love football in the way they did. The atmosphere, incredible.
Food?
10 out of 10. The food.
Yeah, what do they serve in the stadium in Germany?
So
they had bratwurst, of course. They had bratwurst.
Yep.
They had schnitzel on a stick, which was actually really good.
This is a family show. I don't think you can say schnitzel.
Sounds good.
Yeah, basically fried pork chop. I had that on a stick. And then, of course, they had all your different potatoes. And they did have cheeseburgers.
Oh.
And their cheeseburgers were pretty good.
Really?
So, yeah, but the bratwurst blew the show out of the water. That they were. You could get about a foot long bratwurst and a beer out of a keg. A beer out of a keg for €3. It was
goodness
incredible.
gracious.
Is that a good deal?
It's about $3.50.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah, pretty good deal. Did you bring? I would like to. Did you bring us some euros as a collectible? Me and Diesel. You going to bring us some?
Well, I don't have any euros, but I do have a $200 check bill, which translates to about $10.
He doesn't have any euros left.
So
he spent it all on the schnitzel.
Right.
I just am disappointed that one of our favorite Tolos didn't bring us anything back from his trip to Germany.
I got some chocolate. You want some chocolate?
I doubt it will last from Somerville to Greenville.
Probably not.
Hey, Tom, Corn Chip messaged in and said, Tom went to Germany to watch a football game. He's an addict. Go get some help, Tom. That came from Corn Chip.
I've accepted that fact for a long time, Corn Chip, and I will live with it for the rest of my life. And ever since I watched that football game, the juices have been flowing.
Oh, here we go.
I will say this. I was disappointed with the tailgating scene because they didn't tailgate, but after the game is where the party started. They had a DJ on the field. They brought in pasta. They brought in more beer, so more kegs, and we stayed on that field celebrating till 2:30 in the morning. And that was where,
for a regular season game?
Yeah, it was a regular season game. They did clinch a playoff spot, but I'll tell you,
2:30.
people just decided to stay after the game, and they had a full-on party on the field after the game. It was the way to do it.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Maybe you'll have some parties like that in Columbia this year, Tom. What do you say?
I hope so. I mean, I can leave.
What's your name?
Good. I come back. All the receivers are hurt. So we'll see what'll happen.
And while you were still here, the Braves were really good. You leave the country, the Braves fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's not. We're not. I'm not even going to dig into that.
So you
That's
can't
right.
leave again. You're not allowed to leave again for the rest of
Avoiding
the
the
season.
subject.
Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Good
Go
stuff.
Gamecocks.
His trip to Germany went swell, according to Tom in Somerville.
Man,
Good to hear, though.
Foot-long bratwurst. You
I've
can eat that for 3 days.
I've never seen a foot-long bratwurst before. Dan B., have you ever seen a foot-long bratwurst?
It's possible. I've been to Germany a few times, so
Oh.
it's totally.
Oh, man.
But in the words of First Lieutenant Aldo Rain, you make that deal? Yeah, I'd make that deal.
Say that again.
I understood that reference.
Damn good deal. Damn good deal.
What deal were we talking? I'm lost. What's he talking about?
It's from a movie.
Oh, there you go. There's your reason.
Inglorious
Aldo
Bastards.
Rain. Yeah.
Dan, I don't watch movies. You got to help me out with that kind of stuff.
If it doesn't say 30 for 30 on it, Cole doesn't watch it.
I'll help you out by go watch the movies.
No, I'm good. I'll pass. What else you got, Dan? What else you got on this Overreaction Monday?
Not much. I mean, NASCAR, another race Saturday night. It was not much different than the Iowa race.
Well, listen, Dan. I hate to interrupt you. Let's make this thing interesting. You come on here on a Monday, and say, I ain't got nothing interesting. Dan, this is blasphemy. You are the creator, the man behind the Upset Picks Challenge. It starts literally in a week and a half, week and 2 days.
Next
And
Wednesday,
you
we'll be
act
taking
like,
picks.
oh, no, we don't have any. Dan, you should be like scribing right now. Aren't you doing something? Do you have spreadsheets going or something yet?
I have to create the next new one, but I'll just copy from last year.
Oh, my God.
All of about 30 seconds.
This is where you have to get better at lying, Dan. You have to tell
ChatGPT.
us that you've worked really
Really
hard on
hard.
this. Your
No,
fingers
no.
are down to the bone.
Can you give us a
I went to a school that thou shall not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do.
Okay,
Call
that's
and
nice. Can you give us a strategy? I need a new strategy for 2026 upset. We had somebody message in earlier say, cannot wait for the upset picture. It starts next Wednesday. Give me something new this year. I've got to be better. I want to be better. What can I do this year? Give me a strategy, Dan.
Well, first off, I would never give anybody a strategy.
Come
because
on.
I'm too competitive.
I'm going to use ChatGPT the whole time.
There are certain strategies that have come to light, even going back to the MR days, that he kind of came up with that in a version that I used for a while. I do still use it, but there's another factor that comes into play now. So,
Yeah, but then you've got all the hard data from the last 5 years of this challenge. You ought to be able to copy all of that into Chat GPT and say, hey, can you analyze what the
that's a
good
good
pickers
point.
are doing?
Yeah.
And
Well,
help me
then-
come up with a strategy.
Okay, fair. Then that's a fair assessment. I'll just tell you, I don't trust AI. I won't touch it on my computer. So
Why?
Yeah, but did you see that awesome photo of Phil Steele as a centaur?
and the logo.
That's
Elon logo.
AI. The AI can do some great things for you.
I know what it can do. No, I'm aware of what it can do. I've watched others do great things. Star Wars fan films on YouTube, half of them are AI. Some of them are really, really good.
Yeah.
I
it's
know
not
what
all
it
bad.
can do.
Are you
Shouldn't be good.
are you expecting your wife, Jess, I don't know if you remember this or not, to finish higher than you? Do you remember who won that battle last year?
Last year I did. I came on strong at the end because remember I went 11 weeks zeroed out.
Can't
And
get
then-
any lower than
and
zero.
Then I hit 6 in the last, it wasn't 6, but I had enough to get to what it was top 26, I think. I was 26. So
We won't
I
ask
did
Diesel
something
about
great.
the whole wife thing and the upset picks.
Yeah, she kicked my ass.
He's the one that got his ass kicked by his better half.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Dan sent me
It was bad, man.
just the other day. He sent me last year's.
So here's what I want to know while you're pulling that up. What can we do? I'm all about being big. Let's make this thing bigger. what record do we need to do? I mean, every week, Diesel and I push. What's the biggest? Never hit how many people? What can we set as our goal?
Well, we had 205 individual players last year, so go to 250
for the whole
Is that
season.
realistic?
Let's go to 300.
Yeah,
Why not? Blow it out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, we could have a huge surge.
Do we ever know like what the highest on a week on one week was?
We've gained a bunch of listeners in Anderson in the past 12 months.
Yeah,
we know we have. Yeah. We hear from them every day.
So we should see an influx of at least, whatever the 1 to 5% of listeners.
So Dan, do you know off the top of your head what was our highest weekly last year? Do you know that? Do you have that data?
I have it. I don't have it right.
It's okay. It's okay.
You can tell us.
My guess is around 150, maybe even a 170 one week. I'll look that up and I'll put it in the stream.
Lot. Yeah,
that's a lot.
Let's see. FU Ashley finished with 40 points. She was in 9th place.
She did good.
Dan, you're right. You came on strong. You finished in 26th place with 29 points. Cole finished in 37th place with 23 points.
That's not bad.
And I got to keep scrolling all the way down the list. Find me in 80th place, 10.5 points.
I didn't realize I finished top 35, something like that, top 40. I didn't realize I finished that. Got lucky a few times.
I mean, you're asking me for advice. Cole, Diesel's the one that really needs to scramble to figure what they got.
I just got lucky.
Funny thing is, all it is. I kept giving Ashley possible picks, and she
don't do that. By the way, this year, do not.
Right.
Yeah.
You give her like a list of 5, which is kind of what I do with Jess. And she picks most of the time. She probably just picks on the team colors or something.
Yeah.
But whatever works, that's how some people could play in bracket.
Yeah. Dan, thanks for the call. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, I was just gonna say, how did MR do? Wasn't he down at the bottom like 10? Like with 3 points or something like that.
MR, let's see. Let me see. I just saw it a second ago, and I had it and I lost it.
We'll text it to you.
I'll find it. Yeah, I'll find it
to you. But we're excited, Dan. Next Wednesday,
89th place, by the way.
Oh, so just behind you.
Yeah. Thanks,
stuff, Dan.
Appreciate you. Hey, real quick. I know this segment's going long. My last overreaction is, you always need that one missing piece, Diesel, of veteran leadership in a clubhouse to take you to the next step. This Dallas defense was already going to be better, improved this year, but now the fact that they signed Von Miller today to a 1-year deal, he is 37, but he did have 9.5 sacks last year with Washington. This is the missing piece, and this does lock Dallas in. They will break the drought this year. Just go ahead and prepare yourself. I will be so unbearable on this show. You have no idea, but Caleb Downs, Malachi Lawrence, the defense is going to be a lot better, and the drought will be broken.
But no. You got to talk trash about them, because whenever you started talking trash about the Braves, they were great. When you started talking nice about the Braves, they started to fall apart.
That's true. That's bad.
I just realized this, Cole. Now, there are some extenuating circumstances here, but I lost to a dead guy last year in the Upset Pick Challenge.
Who died?
Lee Corso. Lee Corso had 13.5 points in the Upset Picks Challenge.
God, I thought for a minute, I thought he really died.
Remember, we locked him in. Out of respect for Lee Corso, we locked him in at the 13.5 points. We're like, I don't want to see Lee falling from 13.5 to 11.5 to 9.5.
But he's not really dead, right?
Well, he is. He is dead.
Lee Corso?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Why am I drawing a blank right now?
Coach Corso?
I don't know why I'm drawing a blank.
Not so fast, my friend. College Game Day?
Yeah. No, I know who Lee Corso is.
Coach Corso?
But I didn't know he died.
What?
When did he die?
Last year.
Oh, I forgot about that.
God.
That's bad. You
don't remember
I just forgot.
Kirk Herbstreit crying on TV? We were all crying with him.
Was I crying? No, I wasn't. Evidently, I wasn't crying. I forgot that he died. That is why am I drawing a blank on that? I mean, did I just miss an entire? I don't know.
He's not alive. Am I that wrong? Wait a minute. Lee Corso is dead, isn't he?
This is news to me. When did he die? I have no idea.
He's dead. No, he's not. He's not still alive.
When did he? I mean,
what?
You're hearing me react in real time. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I thought he died. I thought he died. How is he 91 and still alive?
What did you dream?
I thought he died.
Did you have a dream?
No. You could have asked me 100 times. I thought Lee Corso died last year.
Oh my God!
Kirk cried because it was Corso's last game day. I thought he died. Wow!
Oh my God! This show's hit a.
This is the best day of my life. Lee Corso's still alive. This is great.
I was genuinely. I felt so stupid.
Cornship says, "Are you thinking of Lou Holtz?" Maybe I was thinking of Lou Holtz.
I felt literally for 30 seconds, I felt like an idiot.
Maybe I was thinking of Lou Holtz.
I was sitting there thinking, when did Lee Corso die? Like, did I just miss that Lee Corso died?
Diesel is dumb AF. I thought he died.
Oh my!
I thought because I remember the whole thing, the whole rigmarole. They don't usually do that for somebody who just retires. I thought he died.
I'm telling you, you had me in a place I've never been on this show before. And I was truly thinking, what on earth? What on earth?
Oh my God.
I mean, oh my gosh. Jersey Joe wants to react on the phone lines. What's up, Jersey Joe?
Diesel, how could you?
I thought he died. I guess I was combining the Lou Holtz and Lee Corso of it all.
I just looked up on Wikipedia real quick, and no, he's still kicking.
It's usually not a good thing if we have to Google, is so-and-so still alive?
I'm telling you, man,
Jeez.
You had me spinning. You had my head. I literally thought.
I've just gone up through a roller coaster of emotions here.
I know. And I'm sitting here thinking on the show live, how do I not remember that Lee Corso died? I mean, surely the guy, I have blips. Sometimes I do have blips, but that one got me, Joe. He got me on that one.
Now, you are right about Lou Holtz, though. You are right about Lou
Maybe
Holtz.
I was thinking of Lou.
Oh, Lou.
Because I remember one of the biggest pundits in college football dying last year, but wow.
That's bad. That's bad.
Wow.
I hope Lee Corso doesn't just miraculously pass away tonight or something. I mean, your Diesel, they will come back. This show will be donezo, right? It'll be donezo. Oh, Joe, what else is going on, man?
Just sitting here in this lovely 85 South traffic right now.
Oh,
boo.
Yeah. Clear it out for me, if you don't mind. Clear it out before I get on.
I'm going to try to.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you. 844 fan phone. We are way late, but that was maybe the funny.
Oh my God.
That was not funny. Let me backtrack. Not funny.
Well, I'm happy to know he's still alive.
I am too.
I genuinely thought he passed away last year.
And I'm sitting here. We got to go back on the stream because my facial. I mean, I'm sure my face was just like what. And I'm sitting here thinking, am I an idiot? Am I an idiot? I missed something. I mean, this would be the biggest news ever. I missed it. You must have dreamed that he died. You think so?
Well, if I was having a dream about Coach Corso, we'd be like riding on a rainbow.
I don't know.
On a horseback.
That's funny. That we gotta. Sometimes you just have to admit.
Jared Tripp says Diesel had me tripping a little bit about Coach Corso.
Me too.
Another texter calls me a bleep. And I can't say those words over the air.
Rude.
And then texter says, no, it was Lou Holtz that died. And Kirk Herbstreit's dog. Thanks for bringing the show down.
The dog. It's always the dog, right? and now we've got to get into Kirk Herbstreit's dog. What is Lou Holtz? Texter says Lou Holtz didn't even. He died. Lou Holtz did die, right?
Are you sure?
Who knows?
Should we Google it first?
Who knows? Who's dead? Who's alive? Yes, he died just not long ago.
March 4th, 2026.
Right. What a segment. What a segment.
When we come back, some audio for you. Yeah, that was bad in the last segment, Cole. I really genuinely thought Lee Corso had passed away. And it's a good day to know that he is alive.
He's still alive, think, right?
The good news is we found out today that he's still alive. So pretty good day.
Good
Cocky
radio,
for a Reason says Diesel can remember the mascot of Northwest New Mexico State, but he can't remember if Lee Corso died. Come on, man. Love the Fighting French Bulldogs of Northwest New Mexico State. Big fan. Got a T-shirt in the mail from him on the way. Let's hear some audio from some of the biggest sports moments that happened over the weekend, Cole. This one, when you get the reputation of being an injury-prone quarterback, especially if you've taken some head injuries, they're going to send you to the blue tent.
I'm
more
so
often.
Glad you had this audio.
By the way, I don't know how much of this may be influenced by the way Cam Scatabo has treated his head injuries, but here is Jackson Dart saying he is puzzled by the fact that every time he gets an injury or takes a shot, they send him back to the medical tent. Let me say here. Let's play this again.
As far as the blue tent, like I really respect the rules and the thought behind, the NFL has of keeping players healthy and reviewing things, but at the same time, I'm still puzzled by it just feeling like every time that I get hit, I find my way in there. At times I still try to wrap my head around, but that's all that I'm going to say about that situation.
Yeah, your brain is jiggling inside of your skull, but I don't know why they keep sending me to the medical tent all the time.
This one's tough, man, because I do see both sides. Like the NFL, Diesel, we know how extraordinary, you know what I mean? Like we know how they treat injuries, and especially head injuries and tough hits. And he took a tough hit over the weekend. And then also see Jackson's standpoint of like, okay, like my head never hit anything. Like, what are we doing? I'm sure that answer just came out of frustration from a competitor who hates being pulled out of the game. And I respect that. Like, all right, there's enough's enough. I'm tired of having to go out, tired of having to go to the blue tent. It's a tough, sticky situation. And I'm glad you played that audio because I heard that over the weekend as well. And it's just sometimes you're just unlucky in that regard.
Yeah, and he, I guess, now has been labeled as a concussion-prone quarterback. He's only had one that we know of in the NFL. It's not like Tua that has had so many concussions. I mean, we all remember the video of his like fingers. What was it called? Fencing.
Oh,
it's like when your fingers tense up in a strange way. That hasn't happened to Jackson Dart yet.
That gives me goosebumps.
And it's awful to think about. But now I guess it is in the mind of his coaching staff that, hey, his brain is soft and we've got to take care of him. Now, here's the truth, Cole. Once you have a concussion, it increases your risk of getting other concussions. Is Jackson Dart maybe unfairly being pulled back to the medical tent? And is that costing him time on the field? I mean, it's preseason, man. Like, if it's a regular season game, maybe they are or are not as strict on bringing you back. But the NFL has spent a lot of money and a lot of time trying to educate their players and trying to at least position itself as a league that, well, we really don't want to see our biggest stars get concussions.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that Cam Scatabo came out and said that CTE is fake and it's not a real thing.
It's one of those things you appreciate until it's you that has to keep going into the tent. You know what I mean? You appreciate it because you do want to be safe. You do want to be safe, but at the same time, it's like, oh, gosh. I mean, I get it. I do get it. It's frustrating. And I just hope that they have to pull them in that blue tent here in a few weeks when they open up against my Cowboys. I think they should do it every quarter. I think they should do it multiple times a quarter to Jackson Dart and Cam Scatabo, everybody else on the Giants team.
This is kind of odd one, Cole, and I admit I didn't watch, so the audio caught me off guard. If we have Tolos that watched UFC over the weekend, can you give us a sense of what really happened here? Because Dana White was talking about a fight that took place over the weekend between Ian Gary and Islam Malkovec, and the fight was a little odd in some interesting ways. Here's Dana White talking about why one of the fighters didn't seem to have a killer instinct out there.
I felt like tonight was set up for the upset. I felt like the upset could happen tonight with so much on the line, all the records that Islam has, and he's going to break Anderson Silva's record. There's weight classes for a reason. Ian Gary is a big, rangy, strong guy who has great takedown defense. I mean, if you look at his takedown defense tonight against Islam, it was impressive. I felt like I think that Ian is a talented guy. if he had even an ounce of killer instinct in that 5th round. He had been beaten into the body. Islam's whole, I think, right side was beat up. His face was beat up. You don't come out and hug and shake hands in the fight. That drives me crazy when there's so much at stake. And there's also a lot of mental gamesmanship, whatever you want to call it in this game. You come out in that 5th round with a flying knee or something crazy and you try to finish the fight. I think that this is one of those fights that Ian will go back and watch and say, wish I could do that over again. And
so
that's funny audio, by the way.
He didn't have killer instinct coming out in the 5th round, and Dana White's not happy about it.
What a loser. A loser. I don't mean to just bag on UFC or whatever. You a minute ago said if anybody watched, I don't know if anybody watched. I mean, our audience out there, did anybody who watches it? And I know they have good ratings and all that's great.
Nice. The ratings are better than they've ever been.
I just can't figure it out. I cannot. Yeah. Who have you, since you and I have started doing this show, and I know like our listeners do not speak for everybody. It's a small, do you know anybody that watches UFC of our list? I mean, we don't hear from them. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. I couldn't talk about UFC for 30 seconds if you asked me to give you some information on it.
I can't name any of the superstars. I think that sport has a problem with its superstars right now in that they don't have them on the scale that they transcend UFC. And people are like, oh my God, you've got to go see Ronda Rousey. She's tapping people out in like 6 seconds. You got to tune in and watch this. That has changed. Here's another one, Cole, from Islam Malkovic or whatever his name is, himself, who said that things were just a little odd during that fight.
It seems like between every round, Ian was saying something to you, kind of trying to give you a hug, touching you on the head. Beginning of the 5th round, he high-fived you. Dana White said he hates that. He wish you guys would just...
Bro, I don't understand, man. This is the fight. This is not something...
He was trying to touch you
on the head,
trying to touch you on the head and shake your hand.
That's weird, funny, right?
Put his arm around you and hey, we're all buddies out here. It's weird. It's weird.
It's, what I am fascinated by, people who love it. People who love it absolutely love it. But I don't know. I've tried to watch. I've tried to get into it. I just can't do it. Diesel, when we come back, you and I, well, let me just say this. I have not started the fantasy football league because I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to be the commissioner. I don't have time. I told you that a couple of weeks ago on air, right? Well, Shane Barrett has volunteered to be the commissioner. And I know a lot of Tolos have texted in over the last couple of weeks, hey, are we doing fantasy? We're doing fantasy? Yada, yada, yada. I know y'all love it. And if you love it, more power to you. You can do it. We can do one for the show and compete 2-3 leagues. I don't care. But I'm not running it anymore. Shane Barrett is going to be our new commissioner. He's going to call in next. We're going to interview him, Diesel, to see if he fits the role. And then we'll open the league. And Shane will give the code or whatever you got to do, text in the link, whatever, and we can get the wire-to-wire fantasy football. I may still play. I just don't want to be the commissioner. Too much work, Diesel. Too much work. I tried to pawn it off on Diesel, but he didn't want it. So we'll do that next. All right, Shane Barrett is on the line. And Diesel, before we hand this thing to him, turn the vehicle over to him that we've just done so well with the past few years. We've got to vet Shane Barrett, okay? Do you have your vetting questions ready in your head?
Yep.
Shane Barrett has volunteered to become the commissioner of the Fantasy Football League the last few years. I did it. Shane, I don't have time to do it anymore, okay? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm going to start. Why do you think you should be the commissioner of this fantasy football?
Well, I am the defending champion for 2 years running.
Whoa.
But also, I run a charity tournament that has been up to 240 teams. It's actually going on right now. It's 120 teams this year. So I have experience doing this, and that's just one league that I run.
It's pretty good answer.
How do we know, Shane, that you will be an impartial commissioner?
Because my line, actually, I can't say my line on the air. But I am not a jerk as a commissioner, but I will be a dictator when necessary and rule with impartiality.
Okay.
I like two good answers so far. He's flying through this, passing with flying colors. What do you do if the first league gets full? Do we just keep creating leagues like we have the last few years? Is that what we do?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Dan B already says he wants in. Now, usually we just have people text in. We send them the link. Do you want to set it up or do you want me to set it up?
I can set it up, and I can give you – I have an email specifically for fantasy football, so I can text that to you or put it on the stream, and people can email me there and just say wire to wire, and I can get them in the league.
Shane, I have never played fantasy football before.
Really?
Okay. I've never played it before.
I know that.
Would you hold my hand through the process?
I mean, to an extent, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know you never played before.
I've never played. Can you make sure that I get Patrick Mahomes?
I can't guarantee that.
Can you approve a trade for me to get Patrick Mahomes?
If it's a fair trade.
You can have Patrick. I don't want Patrick Mahomes. The guy's washed. He's washed. I don't want him. Shane, you as the commissioner, what are they always asking in job interviews? The last question. Where do you see yourself in this role 5 years from now, Shane?
Still doing it, hopefully, if you guys will let me.
If we're here, right?
We have at least 5 wire-to-wire leagues.
God.
Wow.
We already had 3 last year.
We had 3 last year. I think we can get to at least 5 in 5 years.
What I don't understand, though, Diesel and Shane, is if you have 3 leagues and 3 winners, how do you decide? Don't we need some kind of ultimatum after we need to bring them in the studio with like water guns and handkerchiefs.
Not water guns in the studio.
Okay, fair enough.
So here's why I take the title as the champion is because the first year we did it, I won my league. I won the league. And I think we had 2 leagues that year. And so the other champion and I were then in the same league last year, and I won the league again.
Oh, so you moved the champions into a champions league.
Could do that as we grow.
Interesting.
That's not a bad idea.
Interesting.
That's not a bad idea at all. I like that.
Shane, are you willing to take on this job as a volunteer role because there's no money to pay you?
Oh man.
Yeah, no, that's.
I didn't know Diesel was going to bring that up. I thought we were going to wait.
Apparently that's a thing now with like job postings. They want people to work for 6 months for free to see if they're a good fit.
No, are you serious?
I've seen it online.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
Can you volunteer for us? Well, we might can pay Shane and like every now and then I might buy him a piece of pizza or something.
Bitcoin. Pay you in Bitcoin.
You can pay me in beer, you can pay me in pizza, or you can pay me in airtime.
That's fair.
Airtime's easy.
Well, yeah.
Shane, thank you for being voluntold to become our new commissioner. And we will start sending when the texts start coming in, like they already have, we'll start sending people your way, I guess, or you people's way, something like that.
Yeah, either one.
Just so you know, this is fresh, hot off the presses. Young Gravy Nuts is in on the fantasy league.
They're coming in.
What a name!
What a name! That's
I hope
true.
that's his team name too.
Yeah, that was his name last year in the Upset Picks Challenge. Also,
thanks, Shane.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Commissioner Shane Barrett.
Amazon guy says, "Is this the underdog challenge?" Amazon guy, Mr. Stop showing up last year.
Bruh.
You got off to a huge lead and you stopped showing up.
What are you talking about? First of all, what is the underdog challenge?
Yeah, I don't want to.
I don't have
make him feel
anything
bad
on this show.
I don't want to make him feel bad because I want him to be a part of the upset picks challenge this year. But
no,
you let it go last year, bud.
This is fantasy NFL football.
Yeah,
the upset picks challenge starts next week.
There's no games to pick this week, Amazon guy. How
One's
could it be
NFL,
the upset picks challenge?
One's college.
Hey, we're also, Cole, we're always thinking about what the future may hold for our favorite teams, for the Clemson Tigers, for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Let's get back into a conversation that we had earlier in the show, predicting what the Carolina Panthers will be this year. We gave our predictions a few weeks back. Has anything changed? We'll talk about that to start the 6 o'clock hour next on the Fan Upstate.